What up, though? Welcome to the Hood Smoker Podcast, the hottest #1 podcast based out of Detroit, Michigan. And now, with your hosts, Jay Gutta, Brother King X, Blatonio Todd, and the rest of the Hood Smoker Squad. We don't do no Vlad stuff. We don't do no Adam stuff. We keep packing in the legends, respect them, and keep adding up. So pack a blunt or two, maybe grab a brew and a snack for you, and leave behind your attitude, and get ready as we snap into the Hood Smoker Podcast.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? It's the Hood Smokers Podcast, episode 215. We got a special co-host with us tonight, Mr. Go-To, a.k.a. the Black House. Y'all already know him and shit. Y'all know Mr. Go-To. We got Brother King X in the building. No Blatonio be joining us.
Hey, I better vote for my homeboy, Mr. Go-To, for best actor, flat out. For real.
Oh, yeah, for real.
I'm going to vote for King X, Jay Gutta, and Blatonio for the Hood Smokers Podcast. It's the #1 podcast in Detroit.
Yes, sir.
And we killing them on the numbers, man. I don't know what they doing or where they doing that at, but I know one thing: the numbers. They need to really get this shit organized.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on, though?
Shit. Ready for tonight's show?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Brought another
I'm
legend
ready.
to this bitch.
What?
We've been talking about getting Serv-On for a minute and shit. You know, he showed a lot of love to Detroit. I remember him and Mia X just came through Detroit not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Mia X, I feel, is like one of the most underrated female artists out there and shit. Like, people don't bring
Man, Mia X, bro. I'm going to tell you about Mia X, bro. I was listening to Mia X when her and Manny Fresh was NYC Incorporated.
That's what I mean. New Orleans, they all connected and shit. We gonna talk about that with Mr. Serv-On.
So how long have I been listening to Mia X?
Right.
You've been listening to Mia X before Mia X probably was Mia X. You knew her when she was just Mia.
Before No Limit. Shit.
Well, what people don't realize is that New Orleans been putting in work in the hip hop game since forever. You know what I'm saying? The most wanted, you had the Most Wanted boys. You had MC Thick, Tim Smooth, Buzz Down. You know what I'm saying? The Ghetto Twins, Big Mike. Because everybody know Big Mike from the Ghetto Boys really is from New Orleans.
Right. We got Mr. Serv-On in the building right now. Multi-platinum selling artist. No
Mr. SRV.
Legend.
I remember Mr. Serv-On. I remember Mr. Serv-On dropped the album with this Juggalo rapper name on his label named Killachipmunkproductions, 30 Thugs, 30 Thug Records.
Okay. Mr. Serv-On, can you hear it?
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
we
you,
just
but you gotta click the camera icon.
There's a camera icon on there, brother. All you gotta do is click that thing.
Okay.
There
What's
There we go. There the legend go. Mr. SRV on.
Hey, what's up, man? What's happening with y'all, man? I appreciate y'all much, man.
Oh man, you was always one of my favorite No Limit MCs. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to No Limit, my favorite MCs was C Murder, Fiend, Matt, Mystical. Oh man, it's Soldier Slim because I still give him to him raw to this day.
Definitely, man. We appreciate all of it, man.
And I still got all the real untouchable shit when Master P was in the bank.
Wow.
And my dead boy. And 99 Ways to Die. And Lil Rick.
Oh, Lil Rick was my guy, man. Yeah.
Oh, we gonna have him on too.
Hey, Lil Rick was my guy, man.
Shout out Lil Rick, shout out Richmond, but we celebrate New Orleans tonight. Mr. Serv-On in the building.
Man.
So what's going on with you, Mr. Serv-On? We got I'm Jay Gutta, this brother King X, and we got Mr. Go-To, aka the Black Howard Stern, special co-host tonight with us. He's been part of the show for a long time. But we got mad love from Mr. Serv-On in Detroit. We was just talking about how you and me and X, it wasn't that long ago, y'all was here in Detroit and shit and rocking that shit.
Yep. With the tour, but so I'm in Detroit a lot. I got family there. I got my cousin Carol out there, and real close. With Trick. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy, Big T.
Yeah, you know what I noticed? A lot of people from New Orleans do have relatives in Detroit.
Definitely.
Like BG, because I know BG auntie.
Yeah, BG was living down here.
I come there and go to my bar, man, all the time. When I'm there, I go out. That's the place I kind of go out and kick it at his bar out there. My guy, he got his turkey leg thing. I mean, not turkey, turkey hut cafe. I think on the west side, if I'm not mistaken.
It's called what?
The turkey hut, turkey. I can't remember.
Turkey grill.
Turkey, everything. I know that much.
Turkey grill. Ted Bundy. Jeffrey Dahmer from Milwaukee.
I thought he was in Spokane with shit. Hey, look, this shit.
Yeah, he was in Milwaukee.
Well, in Detroit, we had the Highland Park rapists. Once upon a time, it was rape that ranged along. That's the category of what we talking about. I don't know. Did we switch from No Limit to horrorcore? King X always want to come with some of this eat shop shit. He like, so dead rats and mescaline. You ever had dead rats and mescaline? It's like, what the fuck?
Hey, speaking of that, Mr. Go to my godmama survived the Highland Park rapist. Like, he actually tried to attack my godmama.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, he was locked up. I was locked up with that guy. That guy there, man, he had a lot of problems. He
locked up. He where he at, where he deserved to be.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. The older we get, the older I get, even though we live in street code, I realize, man, the older I get, that some people just deserve to be locked up, bro. They don't deserve to be out in society. They can't even maintain in society. Like the mentality, whatever it is going on psychologically, some motherfuckers just don't, they need to be locked up.
Right, because people like that will always offend, bro. They always gonna offend because it's something mental.
Yeah, I agree, man. You get to a point, growing up, when you're growing up and you're thinking about street stuff, you have so many people in jail, so many people doing time, you just be like, man, like, damn. But then when you start getting older and you see some of the things some of these people doing, man, it's like, you know what? They don't need to be out here. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The mental health sometimes with some, like we talking about right now, that don't even help. You know what I'm saying? What's in them, and because I believe in energy, spirits, and emotions, as well as believing in God. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like a lot of them, man, it's nothing you can fix with them. Best thing is to where they at and locked away from man.
Real talk.
Let me ask you this: since you believe in energies and spirits, what we got to do to get them glasses off you right now, so we can be eyeball to eyeball everybody up here right now? Because I feel like, man, I'm on some high. There we go. They're gonna Serv-On. And so, for those of us who never really saw you or really know about your history, let's get into that and let's ask Serv-On, when did you start rapping? Because realistically, I don't know if you want your age out there, but me and you the same age though.
Oh, I'm proud of my age. I'm still alive, bro. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, so when I
did insurance cover, bro, you still look the same.
Hey, listen, to be born in '69, man, to be born in '69, I feel like at 54 years of age, man, we've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so when I knew that you was born at the same time, I was gonna say, okay, so dog OG for real. Then I really realized that it's about what we do now. I want to ask you, when you first started rapping and you became, as far as a public figure in the eyes of the world with No Limit, do you feel like the rap that you did back then was effective enough to cause damage to our communities? Your rap individually.
I'm gonna put these on for me.
Go ahead, put them back on. Put them on, my baby. Put them on.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something, man. And I said this, you know, I had a disagreement with somebody. You know, it wasn't bad, you know, because I'm at an age now, man. I don't let it get out the way if I disagree with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, and I told them, you know, they were talking about how could you say, you know, because I said about music, you know, and things like that. And I said, man, you know what? I was part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? So why not be part of the solution right now? And my thing is not saying, you know, some of the stuff that's out there, this beautiful art of ours, bro. Because rap is a beautiful art, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the art of where we from, who we are, what we do, and what our block is about, and what our culture, each city we come from. And you know, and I don't come down on the young dudes. You know, I just try to put a message out there here and there, and I do believe that, especially, I got to see a face first, and I'll answer real quick so we can, you know, you can get your next questions in. I got to see a face first, man, when I was out once, and I was in Alabama, and the kid was like one of my, you know, his dad listened to my music, and he got into my music, and he said, "You all right, sir?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm all right, and he raised his shirt up, right? And he said, "I got you." He had 2 guns. Remember you said 2 Glocks gonna keep me out on the block? Yeah, I keep my 2 Glocks. And that shit, bro, honestly, after I talked to him for a minute, it brought me to tears because I'm like, I gotta fix what I did. You know, because I talked about stuff that made me angry. I talked about what grew up in and what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And so at times, bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. I feel like, you know, and I told somebody this, bro, if you're part of the problem, you got to be part of the solution. You know, and not saying all this new rap and everything, because I like the young dudes, because I look at it like this. They all trying to do, you know, I'd rather them be trying to be out here rapping, right, than out here murdering. You get what I'm saying? So,
that's the same thing that's the same thing the big homie Gangsta Nip say. He said he rather these young niggas mumble than them coming in your window, breaking in your house.
Exactly, man. And because these youngsters these days, they growing up from parents that are still in the club looking for love, man. They still out there. They're not raising them. So these youngsters are learning from what they see on TV, what they know, or whatever. You know, internet is more influential than ever. And so, you know, I mean, it's like I'd rather them be trying to rap than doing the other things that they was doing, destroying the community. You know what I mean? And so for me, you're right, bro. As I got older and I sat back, man, and you know, and I listened to myself sometimes, right? And damn, you know, man, I was angry. Man, I saw some things. I went through some things, you know, and then when you got guys that see you that are younger that listen to your music and they on that same mind that I had. Now I'm sitting looking at him because my son is 21 now. So I'm saying to that young man, looking at that young man, God, I don't want him to die out there. Because when I was that age and rapping, when I was rapping, I didn't care about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to see now. So I'm like, how can we fix it? You feel what I'm saying? And so I came up with one light solution that I'm just starting to push now. I've been trying to get a lot of dudes that's out there in the streets, again, dudes that's rapping and still acting like knuckleheads while they on and doing their thing. I'm trying to push them to be more businessmen. You know, showing them how gangsters. You know what I'm saying? And when they come at me and be like, you know, you telling me about being a businessman and get my business together and get my LLC together. Yeah, I'm making money with my streams and this, that. You telling me to do that, but what's so gangster about it? I said some of the biggest gangsters in the world run the world. I said the Rothschilds are gangsters. I said they're billionaires.
They've been gangsters. The Rockefellers.
They just don't pull guns. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, but they gangsters. I said, you know, so that's what I'm trying to push out there, man. I want to think if I could get their mind to be more occupied on and showing them where it's like, look, 3 to 6 months, man. You handle your business, man. You sitting on 6-7 figures, the legal way. I'll take a penitentiary, and then now go put that into your music. Go put that into your label. You know, so that's my way, man. I'm trying to push, but I agree with you. When I got older, it fucked with me a lot, man. Excuse my language. It messed with me a lot, man. When you
I understand you completely because I used to do horrorcore, and now when I go back and listen to my old music, my jaw be dropping, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be like, damn, I said that.
you know, but
But
at the
I know I
time,
said it. But at the time when I was recording, I wasn't thinking the severity of my words and what I was saying.
well, we lived through the 90s. What was going on in the 90s, man, in every city, in every inner city, even in the suburbs, and man, it was murder. Murder is murder, homie. I mean, so if you're in those situations and you telling your truth, what are you gonna talk about? That's all. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people caught in that because our thing was I'm gonna be true to the art. I'm gonna talk about how I'm living. I'm gonna talk about what I see and what environment I'm in. And then years later, look back when life is blessed, better. You're like, God, I put that out there, but I don't sit down like somebody asked me would I do it different. It couldn't do it different because my mindset was when I did Before I Died, the song a lot of people like. Every word of that song was true. You know what I'm saying? Every word of it, man. I went from being a basketball player, but still being a man that could stand in the middle of the street to watching my mama's stuff about to be put on the sidewalk. So for me, it was like, I'm going to go get it. Any means necessary. And so Before I Die was real. That's the environment I was in. So I don't know, man.
And that's how you got your name for playing basketball.
Uh-uh. It's the acronym of my name is Surviving Every Other Vendetta Enslaved on Niggas. That's what Serv-On, the acronym is. And so, but Serv-On came from at 16, 17 years old, I learned the credit card and check in the banking system. And so at that point in time, basically me and my guys, and there's nothing to be proud about, you know what I'm saying? But me and my guys, they started making people show their ID when they write a check in the state of Louisiana. I had like 30 people with me. We had everything on lock. And so we were doing more because the old man told me once I got in trouble, he said, if you're going to go to jail, man, go to jail for corporate crime. And I didn't understand that. And so once I looked up the definition of corporate, crime. So for me back then, once I learned that banking system, the checking and the credit card system and all that back then, in New Orleans, such a small city, you got somebody doing something. So if one of y'all would have hit me, I'm starting a podcast right back then, and I need some equipment, and it's like 800. I'm gonna be like, give me 3, and the UPS guy I know gonna drop that shit off to you in 2 days. So that's what I serve on because I serve whatever you need: cars, clothes, Jordan, Rolexes, and I knew the banking.
Really, you was with the swipers and the scammers. That you was an OG of that.
OG, yeah, originator of that shit.
Let me tell you, and the funny thing,
I hear all that. Do that same thing back in the day.
You're on point. When I hear all that now and I look at it, I say, damn, I can't be mad at them, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, that's what I did back then. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hate to say it, I learned the system so well. I knew when the checking system stopped at 3:30, right? The checking system in the United States will stop at 3:30. So you can go write checks every way you want, how many amounts you want. You know what I'm saying? That was back then. So, that's the way the game was. But I mean, don't worry about that. You got to check it. So, but yeah, but you know how the game go, man. But it was.
I'm just talking shit. Hey, listen, you on the Hood Smokers podcast, man. We listen. I say Hood Smokers. Yeah, there you go. Frame up. We do what we talk about. Ain't no. You talking about? Excuse me, y'all. Pardon my language. You have to sound like a pastor. Excuse me, pardon. This is Mr Serv-On, man. Talk your talk. But at the end of the day, we understand that we all grown now. We understand that we have to make different decisions and choices when it comes to the things that we say. So one of the things I wanted to ask you was this: who inspired you to rap?
You know, crazy. People always ask me about the grip. I love it always together. You know what I'm saying? I like
Your mic
Right,
sounds
hold
like
on, we got a lot of noise on here.
that static coming
but
from your end, Serv-On.
for me,
It sounds like a fan or something.
It sounds like wind blowing.
Oh, that
All
was me.
right,
I'm up under. That was me. I was up under the fan.
say, bro, how you
all right.
gonna be up under the fence when you
Yeah,
can't
not
be
here.
in?
We try to solve the mystery. He went to somebody getting sound like wind blowing, and he the one sitting up under the goddamn fan. This nigga crazy, man.
He
Hey,
out here in the Bahamas, the Bahamas killing on us. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man. Really and honestly, man, I was in the military. You know, because I played basketball, and you know, I got to Norfolk State. I got put out for selling weed, and so I got put in a program that I wish they do right now to a lot of youngsters instead of throwing the key away on them. And I was given a choice to go in the military. You know, for 4 years, and I wouldn't have to do the 2 years. And so my mother signed me up, and I went in the Navy. And so while I was in the Navy, man, a friend of mine, Corey Dutton from Louisville, he was writing raps or whatever, right? And so he would go to the studio where I would see like the Treacherous, you know, and when Jay-Z was hustling, when people said Jay wasn't getting it in, I saw it firsthand in Virginia. And they all used to come to this studio where he was at. So I always wrote stuff. I always wanted to rap, you know what I'm saying? Because I had guys at home, Gregory D, who was one of the first to go, you know, nationwide, Tim Smooth, MC Dot, you know, from New Orleans.
I got all these CDs, bro. I got all these CDs.
Yeah, I heard you mention the Ghetto Twins earlier, man. They about to do some big things, man. So,
man, I remember when Ghetto Twins was about to get signed to Rookie.
Yeah. But you know, once I start going to studio, right? And then I'm about to mess your head up since y'all said Detroit, right? You know who pushed me when he heard me rapping on the ship? I got two homies from Detroit. One named Juan Rivers, and the other one named Dave Williams. That was my guys in the military. They from the West Side. They used to be like, man, keep going, do your thing, keep doing it, right? And they'll be in the ship with me, freestyling and everything, dog. So they was a big influence. You know what I'm saying? To me doing what I was doing. You know, and so finally once I got home to New Orleans, you know, when I hooked up with KLC, and that's when everything began.
let me ask you this. So really, when you talk about who inspired you, the inspiration you got was really more so people that you knew, people from around your way, as opposed to Run DMC or LL Cool J.
And you know, and the funny thing about it, like, and it was like, I would say even, bro, because I wanted to be L, man. Who LL is also played a part in who I am, because you know, I I had a girl break up with me, right? Because at a brother party, I rapped "I'm Bad" the whole song, right? And she was like, "Oh, you embarrassed me. I can't be with you no more." And it was so funny while I'm saying that story. It was like that right there was like, I'm gonna make you regret what you did. You know what I'm saying? And one day you're gonna want my autograph. You know, so I just started trying to be, you know, just trying to be like L. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, being like L, but I realized who I really was, which was Scarface. More feelings, emotion, and dark. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, but that you know, they had inspired, but the guys in my city, watching Gregory D get a deal, who's legendary in New Orleans, Tim Smooth, who was one of, huh?
Don't forget about Lil Mac when he was Lil Mac.
Oh yeah, Mac was younger then, man. When I was doing that, you know what I'm saying. I mean, I Need Wheels. That was his first song when he was younger. You know what I'm saying. But and MC Dolph from 3-9 Posse, he's a legendary. He's a legendary artist in the city of New Orleans. You know what I mean. That when you say the top 10 legends, the three people I named, you know what I'm saying. They easily in the top 5. You know, as
Hey,
far as
all I
New
know, I
Orleans.
was wait. All I know, I was at the club waiting for Bust Down and saying, "Get your belly, put your bellies on."
Bust Down, yeah, man. That's the West Bank, man. Bust Down is a legend, man. You named a few of them early. MC Thick, Bust Down, man. You had so many of them, man. Joe Black,
Man,
Mama Mia.
we got a hold to all that shit in Detroit.
Yeah, and that's crazy though, man. You know what I mean? Because I used to tell dudes from New Orleans when I was on the East Coast, I would tell them like, yo, y'all music is every other places, right? And they didn't know. They had no idea. That New Orleans music was in other places. The UNLVs, which is my little homies, we off the same block, 6 and Barone. And that was Cash Money's first real big artist. You know what I'm saying? UNLV. That was the money makers first, you know what I'm saying? But that was my influences, man, at home. And then, like I said, my homies from Detroit and one of my homies from Houston, Texas, man, they pushed me. Like, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I'll fuck with you. You need to get the studio, we got you. So, that they played a big part in it, man.
So let me ask you this, man. I gotta ask you this, Serv-On. Oh, I ain't mean to take up the flow. But I got one more question.
Bro. You good?
Hey, Head and Shoulders, right?
Yeah.
My girl was talking about this song earlier today, and she was like,
that was some shit.
she started getting all excited about the song and shit. I'm looking over at her like, what the fuck is you getting all excited about? She said one of the part on there that really get her was when you said touch your head. What's up with that, dog? Because I never heard it to the degree that she has dissected this song. So what's the touch your head part?
You know what I'm saying? It's a breakdown, man. That was, it was really with still, still coming up with a lot of that hook, but then we put meaning into it. You feel what I'm saying? And really, it was more like on a blessing part, touch your head, your shoulders, your knees, your toes, right? And again, it went differently. But what people didn't really catch was what I said after, which was real gangsters don't dance, they groove. Think about it. I have a lot of family that's GD. And so that was respect. That was respect to my guys that was in the military with me and my family out in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And so it was respect. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of just respect. If you ever listen to Throw Your City Up, when I said Detroit, that was for my guys that was in the military with me. And when I said real gangsters don't dance, that was respect to my GD people. That's my fam. Being from New Orleans, I had family in LA, North Carolina, Detroit and Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So, but Head and Shoulders, man, that was one of them songs that I ain't gonna lie to you, I slept on that song. Man. That was a song I should have did a video
song?
to.
You slept on your own song?
Yeah, I really did, man. I bro, when I was doing my album, bro, I was so scared, right? Because I knew I was different from everybody because I still had an East Coast, mentality of my rap style, but my lyrics and my tone was from New Orleans, my words. And so I didn't want to be the one to mess up because everybody was getting top 5 albums when they was coming out, top either 1 or no lower than 5, right, on Billboard. So I was real nervous, man, until KL was like, man, be you. You're different. Just be you. You know what I'm saying? And so, when I did the album, it was like, life insurance and knocking the songs out. And we pushed, of course, Best Friend Be My Lady. And so, which was a strong, big song. But, I started realizing, heaven is so close because that was supposed to be the first video. heaven is so close. And then we start realizing as time go on, I look up, and how I realized how big Head and Shoulders was, I'm watching the Bayou Classic, and Grambling Band performed it at halftime. It's just a hit by Mr. Serv-On. You know what I'm saying? Head and Shoulders. Now imagine you watching the halftime show. You in the Superdome. I'm there, watching the game, and they go to halftime, and they like Grambling coming out with the hit song by Mr. Serv-On, Head and Shoulders. And I watched almost 60, 70,000 people get up, and I'm just sitting there like, what the hell? Like, by then, it's like I, moved on to get ready to do my second album. So I really slept on that song.
That's dope. That had to be a dope ass feeling to be up in the Super Bowl too, and to hear that shit. I could just imagine. That was before cell phones, so people ain't videotaping shit back then. You know what I'm saying?
Like my boys said, we can tell our age. They had cameras there, man. So they take a picture of you. So you know how that go, man. But that was crazy, and that's when I realized how big that song was.
Hey, speaking of football games, speaking of that, Jay Gutta, I meant to tell you, homie, but HotRadio.com hit me up about performing at the Super Bowl.
No shit.
In Vegas. No shit.
That's gangster.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
That's gangster. Yeah.
If y'all just tuning in, shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. Much love. We got Mr. Serv-On, multi-platinum selling artist. We got Mr. Go-To, special co-host. Y'all know him, Brother King X in the building. Go ahead, Mr. Go-To.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask you. I'm gonna play a game with you, Serv-On. I'm gonna see how sharp you is, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna say a word, and then you just throw something back at me, man. And we gonna throw it. We gonna throw it around, man. I'm gonna throw it at you first, and then you throw something out there, and then we'll let Gutta jump in, and then we gonna keep it in rotation. See how long we can keep it going.
Okay.
Norman Connors. All right, I'm starting it off with Norman Connors.
Who?
Norman Connors.
Norman Connors?
Yeah.
We gotta know who the person is, Mr. Go-To.
Well, Norman Connors is jazz. That's jazz. He's jazz. So I just threw that out there. You could have said jazz. You could have said anything. But here's the thing.
Come on. Rapper name. You said jazz. That's that who?
No, Norman Connors is a jazz artist.
Norman Connors. Oh, okay. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not familiar. You know what I'm saying? Now, so I could throw you something.
Jazz music. Yeah.
I got another one. Jill Scott.
Oh man, the most awesome, beautiful. She is a queen, dog. She stands, man. Oh my God, man. Illy Jilly from Philly, homie.
Yeah.
Man, she everything. All right, now I'm gonna throw something back at you. And it's going to be real simple. If it's the last time you can see these two artists and they're in both buildings, they're in buildings right next door to each other. You can't put a phone in there and you can only go at one concert. And this is the last time they ever performing. And you would never see them perform again. Which one would you go in? Michael Jackson or Prince?
Oh, I'm going in Prince.
Prince.
Okay? You got only go in one. And they're in the building right next door to each other.
Prince.
Damn.
Prince all day. Prince.
We Detroit boys. We fuck with Prince. Riding City.
But Mike was
man,
Motown, though. You know what I'm saying? Mike was Motown, though, Mr. Go-To. What you talking about?
I'm saying, we fuck with Mike too, man.
Life.
We fuck with Mike too, man. I'm just saying.
All right.
Blatonio.
You know Prince auntie is Mother Tanetta, which is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's wife.
Yeah.
Okay. I see y'all pick Prince, man. Luther Vandross or Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, I was gonna break the rule. I was gonna say James Brown between both them though.
Marvin Gaye.
No.
Marvin Gaye. I'm from Detroit.
I'm gonna play that Detroit thing. I see what y'all doing, man.
Yeah.
But nah. Whatever at me. Let's go.
The reason why I say Marvin Gaye over Luther is because Marvin Gaye was killed, and he didn't get a chance to fully go where he probably could have went. So we know that while he was here, bangers.
And he had more of a political, social message with his music.
That's what I was going to say.
Was more relationships and love songs.
Yeah,
Luther tricked us, bro.
No disrespect to Mama Luther.
No disrespect to Luther, but Luther tricked us. Hey, listen, Serv-On. Luther tricked us. All the years he sung his songs, this is what Luther said. He never said he or she. He just said, I love you. I love you.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew you.
But I'm going to ask y'all something, right? I'm going to ask y'all something, man. Damn near. All right. Who is the most talented to ever do it? And we talking R&B. Most talented to ever do it.
Oh wow, man. You got anybody? That's anybody from R. Kelly to.
You just said it.
Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson.
R. Kelly. So, you know what I'm going to say? I know it's unpopular. You know what I'm going to say? Who wrote Michael Jackson's biggest hit?
R. Kelly.
You're not alone. Yeah. And he sung it first. They took it off the internet. He sung it for him so he could see how to sing it.
That's just like that Joe song, More and More. R. Kelly originally did it first. Then he gave it to Joe.
So who could stand next to R. Kelly hit for him?
Hey, stop, man. Stop. Chill out.
That's why you gotta separate
that's my
puppy. What up, though, Christopher Jordan?
I ain't gonna lie, man. Listen, R. Kelly definitely he is an icon. He's very talented. I ain't gonna take that away from R. Kelly, man. But the reason why I didn't pick him was because I look at what Michael Jackson did, and I ain't even talking about what R. Kelly did as far as his nature and his situation. I'm talking about Michael Jackson. Really, you got to look at from a kid all the way till he died. Everything he did.
Yeah.
But
that's why I say Mike.
Even though R in the situation in which, I don't condone none of that, man, whether it's, true, whatever.
All I got to say is in my high school and middle school and high school years, R. Kelly got me a lot of ass.
You can't take the talent.
Okay. King X was able to get some play off R. Kelly, but you said even though you don't condone it, what was you gonna say about it, Serv-On?
I said even though I don't condone none of it, man. I mean, it's a bad situation. But when you look at me being a lover of the art and music and the greatness of what music is, that dude is a genius. And so that's what kind of, it's so hard because you have the conversation, and I hate that we have to do the sidebar and say, hey, I don't condone this, I don't condone that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's messed up. You know what I'm saying? And you're
my thing is with the R. Kelly situation, he was not the only big name artist that was doing that. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna come down on here, then come after everybody. If y'all feel that strongly about it, go after Jay-Z. Jay-Z in the same boat too. You know what I'm saying?
But what I look at with a lot of all of that stuff, man. I just feel like we deal with our own. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, because we come all the way back to Elvis Presley. You know what I'm saying? And a few of them. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I just think overall it's always just messed up, but when it comes to R. Kelly, you sit down and think like this at one time before all of that came out, he was like one of our greatest records of music as a writer and, and performer. And so, but it's, I don't condone none of it, man. And if he did what he did, that's where he's supposed to. You know, and like you said, I mean, anybody that has done that, because a child is innocent, and a child should stay a child. You know what I'm saying? Until
Right.
she's innocent. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I don't even like dudes that think it's cool to date younger girls, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you got enough women out there that's your age, man. You know
Yeah.
that's about the weakest thing you could do, man. You know, that's just
That
the way
sound
I.
like that sound like one of my uncles, 50-something years old, always riding around with a 19, 20-year-old. I'm like, man, if you don't take your ass on somewhere, bro, she the same age as your daughter.
Yeah, man, it's crazy though, man. But you know, like I said though, man. So, but I like this, man. The Jill Scott thing. You got me with Illy Jilly from Philly, man.
Oh man, I love Jill Scott. Man,
Yeah.
I swear I used to pay her every morning before I go to work.
Mary
It
J.
was funny.
Blige. Mary
It was
J.
funny. I
Blige.
was dating a chick that looked just like Jill Scott too.
Antonio, Todd,
Yes,
you just tapping in. You got any questions for Mr. Serv-On? You down there in
Yeah, you
Tucson,
got any
Arizona.
questions?
That's our homie from
Salute.
Tucson.
No, no, it's just salute. Yeah, Papa Jive, you know, Blatonio Todd, or out of Tucson, Arizona, man. Honored to have you on. Definitely good to see you as well, Mr. Go-To. Always, you know, been a long time to see my brother. Yeah,
Man, all you
no,
got to
I
do is
mean,
go on Tubi. If you want to see Mr. Go-To, go on Tubi.
Be a movie star. #1 Detroit Music Awards. Shit. We take
I was
it.
just watching.
Hey,
I was watching Hood. I was watching Hood Chicks the other day for the what 1,000th time.
thank you, brother. It's an honor, man. And I'm in a new Tubi movie too called Street Legal. I'm sitting in the back. I'm sitting in the back on
I
Street Legal.
already seen it. Already seen it.
Episode.
Already
Oh
seen
yeah,
all 6 episodes. I've seen all 6 already, bro. I already seen them. I'm waiting on the new. I'm waiting on the second 6.
no doubt, no doubt. Hey, Serv-On, what I was gonna ask you was this. I see that you're interested in doing movies, man. We need to do a movie together, man. What's up? I'm telling you now, I want to do a movie with you.
Definitely, man. We definitely, because that's something that, man, right now, I feel that it's a great industry, you know, for the culture. And I tell even young rappers, man, near your time when you're getting older and they start calling you the older rapper, you know, you need to get into movies. That's your next step. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and I think that's a good thing to want to do, man. You know, one of my guys out there, in fact, in Detroit, he's putting out a lot of movies on Tubi. City G.
oh,
You know,
Oh yeah, City G. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. I've seen it.
Crossbow
I
rapper.
already
Shout
done
out.
seen All I Want Is Revenge. I already done seen it. I'm waiting on Lunatics in the Hall, and I'm waiting on the sequel to the next one, to the first one.
yeah, man, definitely. But when you ready, let's get it together. Let's do it, man. I'm on, you know, because that's a lot that you know I'm getting into also. You know what I'm saying? Because I love what Country Wayne did. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all watch him on YouTube.
Man,
I
Country
think
Wayne, that's my dude.
it was the most slickest thing. He was using an iPhone. That's why in the beginning, all the skits were 3 minutes. 3 minutes and about 30 seconds. Pay attention, right? And what that dude do, he put like 5 of them out a day. They get about 80 to 100,000 views. So you thinking he getting 500,000 views a day and been doing that for over almost a year, 2 years. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And all he doing is like 3 to 4 minute skits. And you know, now he got better cameras and things like that. But at first it was off this iPhone, man. If you really look at the timing of it, he just wrote it right and he knew how to carry it. Because I always laugh and say that's our Black Young and the Restless, man. That's our soap opera. You know, and so if anybody, man, that's listening and watching, if you got a chance, man, instead of acting a fool on the internet, get with your people, man, and start doing your skits, man. Start doing your, you know, building your portfolio with movies. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that's gonna never stop, we're gonna always look at the TV screen. You know what I'm saying?
I've been thinking about that myself, getting into movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we did
I don't know
about
why.
it, when we did
I don't
about
know
it,
why,
man,
because I will.
We was just talking about it was like the first independent like movie
The
that
movie.
was out there like that.
Man, I
show
bought that.
people that could do that. Like you could do this and shit.
I bought that
man, you know,
motherfucker at Sam Goody on VHS.
that's why he.
Serv-On, let me ask you this. If you could work with an artist right now, what artist is out? What art? I got two. What Detroit artist would you want to work with right now? And what artist worldwide would you want to work with that you would say I would want to do a feature with them or have them featured on one of my songs or etc.
Now, see, now you're doing me wrong, bro. You're doing me wrong for that one. But definitely, you know what I'm saying? You know, I swear Bezel, definitely, man. I like him, bro. I like, you know, how he do what he do, man. You know, as far as like younger guys, you know what I'm saying? I definitely, you know, and then, you know, he showed me love, you know what I'm saying? Said he listened to my music. And
that's what's up.
because my son listened to him. My son hit me like, Dad, like, now this crazy now. I'm me. I'm Serv-On. My son said, Dad, I doesn't know you. He know you. Like, I'm like, yeah, he do. You know what I'm saying? But man, worldwide, this will trip you out. If Scarface is the ultimate for me, you know, and I like Jay. Scarface is the ultimate, you know what I'm saying, for me to do something to, and I could be done forever, you know what I'm saying? But who would think that I could really do something that would be so different and have you? I don't know if you guys are familiar. You might be familiar with Lewis Capital. I keep saying his name wrong. He's a white guy, I think, from Scotland, man, and he got a song, man, that it's his voice is just different, man, and I just saw myself making something that mattered to the world, that mattered to everybody in the world, with him on that hook. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna have to check him out. I'm not familiar. I don't know if everybody else. I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah. He's man. He actually went through a mental breakdown, man, and it's a video that got almost 1 billion streams. Where when he was performing at Glasgow out there in I think it's in Scotland, a big old festival, and
Glasgow
couldn't get himself together because of what he went through with his mental illness to sing. You know, I mean, you could tell he's going through, I think, Tourette's or whatever. And a crowd, bro, of over 200,000 people sung the whole song. You gotta see this, man. But you know, he would be somebody that if I wanted to do a song that I want to matter to the world, well, I want to speak about things that bother me right now that I want changed in the world, and you know what I mean. That would be the ultimate song for me right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
like another we all in the same gang or something like that, like another track like that. You think it's about time hip hop drop another track like that?
It's been time for that.
I mean, yeah, I really think right now, man, you know, that type of song is needed. But what I really feel is needed, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, and I'm gonna keep it 100, man. You know, as far as a black man, you know, crack, guns, everything was put to break us, right? And you know, got through, you know, and now it's a new thing I feel that's here to break a lot of the black community. And once you break, if this falls and bends, man, we fall at the waistline. You know, our young females right now, because you know, a woman is God's gift, this desire and the greatness of this world. A woman holds everything together.
The woman is the second self of God.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you and the way things look, you got females being murdered, you got females killing each other. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's on the news like crazy in the D. That's on the news every day up here.
Yeah, one of my agents, off the sports agency I got, you know, he's coming to Detroit this weekend because his niece was shot twice in the chest like a couple of days ago in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, growing up in the 90s, and you know this well, my bro, that's my age, females and kids was off limits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were.
And I don't care what skin color you was. Any problem you had, females and kids were off limits. And, you know, and I think right now, what type of music I want somebody to talk to these young females. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's bad, man. It's bad. It's I look more at
It
what's
is.
going on, than I
But
do
I
what's
mean,
going.
because look at the ones they call lyricists these days. We don't have as many, we don't have any MC lights like like many MC lights that are famous now, or Queen Mother Raids. If we're from who is associated with X Clan, ISIS. You know, it's
Conscious daughters, you know what I'm saying? We ain't
it,
got no more
conscious
conscious
artists.
daughters.
Yeah,
Ain't no more
to
me.
name a few, but it's like
Ain't no more sugar
now we got
queens. Ain't no more.
yeah,
No
ass
more
and
of them.
titties.
Right now, man, when you look at it, these young girls, man, their mothers are still they outside. You feel what I'm saying? So who's gonna
Yeah,
teach them? Their dads ain't with their mom. So it's like, you know what, I ain't tripping. So now these young girls are growing up like we grew up, learning from the streets. You know what I'm saying? And in
yeah,
daytime
Mm-hmm.
they learning from social media. So you got to
yeah.
sit down and take a 14-year-old daughter, and she's starting to come into that mindset of learning who she thinks she is, and now she's watching Basketball Wives and a bunch of these shows where they always fighting and they always settling and saying, "Yeah, it's okay, I'm the side chick." You know what I'm saying? And
Things
glorify.
that are being accepted now that we never would have. Yeah,
And then some of the songs, man. And I like I said, it's so hard for me to go at any rap artist, man, because I still support artists, But then some of the songs now, it's like, the females selling, these little girls, man, and it's like if our females get broken, our young girls, we gonna fall because a woman keeps
Yeah.
everything. A man.
Cause
We all soldiers right now, all on this camera. We
right, cause a
men.
woman, cause a nation can only rise as high as they woman.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. That I think if I would wish that type of song could come out that could make a difference by the right artist. You know what I'm saying? To talk to these
I
young
got those
ladies.
kind of, I got those kind of songs.
But yeah, shit, you
Yeah, I
gotta
got
find.
them. I
yeah,
got
yeah,
those.
yeah. Brother Ken, he's been on the positive level. You're like, yeah, he
Like,
got some refreshing.
when I say I left horrorcore alone, I joined the Nation of Islam. Left horrorcore alone. All my music is like no violence, no drugs, no crime,
But you
no
gotta.
cussing.
LL and Nas just said something recently. Put your music
Another
out.
thing too, I was watching an interview the other day with Tyrese on it, and Tyrese was talking about he started talking about God and he started talking about the devil. One of the things that he pointed out that I kind of recognize as well is that a lot of sadistic, satanistic stuff and imagery is in the videos and in
It is.
symbolism now with our people. And we got
Yeah,
people throwing up hand signs that ain't gang signs. They throwing up hand signs that ain't tribal signs. So we got to be conscious of what we throwing up, man. Because
Like shit like this and all that.
yeah, I mean, a lot of I can't even see you. Can't guess your video. Your video is going on. But yeah, a lot of the music
this
is
is like that
becoming
in some audience.
satanistic, and so when you start talking about horrorcore and some of the music that Esham and them had back in the days, a lot of that was geared towards a satanistic ideology. Now, here's the
It
thing.
was.
But let me say this. Let me say this. I don't mean to cut you off. Back then, when that type of music was done, right? The guys that did it, they studied. They know about that. Today, you see people throw up signs and say things that they don't know about, and then somebody on there who knows about it and explain it. So now that kid who's probably doing it and watching it, oh, that seemed to be cool. Because if you sit down and I done ran across a few young artists, right, and they show respect. Don't get me wrong. That's why I can't never give up on them, but they'll be saying some stuff, man, and then I might ask them something about their video, right? Or a line in their song. They be like, they just look at me. Because they have no idea sometimes what they're saying and what they're doing. Because because what the thing is to show and say something that's gonna make controversy. And they don't even know what type of controversy that they're bringing upon themselves. Like for instance, if you see some of I think it was a performance that I can't remember the artist, but it was kind of sadistic, right? You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so I'm sitting back and I'm like, man, I met this kid. I met him, and he a big time artist. And I'm like, he up there doing all this shit, and he got the fire, and he, you know what I'm saying, and he got the hair with the horns and everything, and blood and all this. And I'm sitting there and got the symbols behind him and all that. And I'm like, when I met this kid, we ran across each other in Walmart, and we had, man, a cool, calm conversation. Dude had on a regular little polo, some shorts, and some slippers, right? And I'm
Was
saying to
it Nas
myself,
X? We talking about Nas X?
I was gonna say,
Was
yeah,
it
giving
was it was
give
it was it Killer C?
I'm
Was
not
it
gonna say
Killer
what
C?
couple of them did it.
Was it
Couple of
Killer
them,
was it Killer
but
C?
I'm not gonna say. But what I'm saying is, I'm sitting back and I'm like, when I met him, it
I
was
know who
before.
it is.
And so when I saw him and I'm looking at watching, it's like, what the? I said, I turned around and told my wife, I said, man, he ain't nothing like that. I said, man, that dude, he ain't nothing like that. The conversation me and this dude had was
He a
so
school
like,
teacher now.
and I'm sitting back, and that goes to say, just like Future, and I love Future, but you know, Future don't do the drugs that he say he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But it's a popular thing where right now, because they understand all rap artists right now, they you know, like we come up in a time we ain't want no negative publicity. We knew what that would do to our career, right? In this day, and negative publicity makes you popular and builds your career. So a lot of them do stuff, bro, and say stuff, and even throw up. That's just like with the gangbanging thing, man. You see guys throw up this sign and that sign and whatever, whatnot, you know. And if they really run across somebody that's really with that culture, right?
Mm.
They gonna bow down. Like, nah, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. You know, it ain't like that, blood. It ain't like that, cuz, you know. And it's like, you know, and you sit back and see it and say, man, it's just about being popular and doing whatever, you know, because negative brings more views and more attention now. You know what I'm saying? And then I think we in a world now where, you know, guys of my generation, I think this where we failed. Because when we were younger, we had OGs and we respected them. So if they told you, don't bring that around this block with all that, even though you wasn't scared,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
just don't bring. Yeah,
my generation now that are OGs, right? They hang with these young boys. So the young boys don't respect them. So they can't teach them nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so I really feel like even with their music, the young and the older guys, 70% of the older guys from my generation, they hate these youngsters, right? And then so the youngsters, you know how these young boys are. Oh, okay, you dissing the young generation? Well, get out the way, old man. I don't respect you. And so it's discord that's why rap right now can't really be leveled and fixed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's why beats can't be stopped. You feel what I'm saying? Because the older guys are on some, instead of saying, these young guys, no matter how much you dislike them, they've created more money streams for guys like my age to still make money, right?
Right.
So you should still be able to say, look, when rap first started, they didn't want to hear the Furious Five. They say it was bullshit, right? So when the West Coast came and the Midwest came, they say it was too gangster, it was bullshit, right? The South came, it was bullshit. So really
They
look
said
at
Luke
it.
was too dirty. They said Luke
Yeah.
was too dirty.
So now when the youth come with their style, everybody says it's bullshit. And so it's always been like that. But I think that's the problem right now, man. Guys from my generation that's in music and in the streets, we kind of dropped the ball because we made it out with our bad circumstances, and we over here and we like, nah, I'm gonna stay out them youngsters' way. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and I think that's the difference of why so much is the way it is. You feel what I'm saying? Because these youngsters don't have nobody that's man enough in those areas to say, bro, come on, let me holler at you. Your mama live right there. Why are you bringing that beef over here? You don't know that rule, and you when you lay your head at your beats don't come. You know, they don't have nobody teaching them that. You feel what I'm saying? They don't. They don't.
Yeah, because I think they were like parents to it, like because Grandmaster Flash. It's like Curtis Blow. That was a big influence to me. That was like a parent to me, who wasn't a parent but as an artist. Yeah, it's like we got to step up.
A rapper should never raise your kids. A parent should be your kids, right? But we were given that task, so it is our responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I say it. It's on us because what we say, they do. What we say, what we do, they do. What we wear, they wear. And I'm talking about the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Rap is bigger than what people really see. Rap is the culture of the world. And how I can prove that, go get an Escalade truck, right? A brand new Escalade, right? What do they sell you on? Sitting on 32s, the wood grain, TV in the dash, but that's really the infotainment, right? But if you TV in the dash, where that come from? Cash money.
Hip hop.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we say it, they say it. Balenciaga, man, I've been knew about Balenciaga. I knew about Balenciaga when I was in the military. It was garbage. But now if a rapper wear it and say it, everybody wear it and say, you know what I'm saying? Ciroc was garbage. Puffy put his name on there and got a percent of it. It's $1 billion company. Pac said Hennessy, Alizé. Alizé was been around. We ain't drink Hennessy, we drink A&J. But when Pac said Hennessy, everybody, the rap rules the culture of the world. Everything we do and say, all of us, and no matter who you are within it, you make the world go round. If you look at it right, and that's the truth. And so,
let's go way back. Also, my Adidas.
Exactly. You know
you absolutely correct on that. Like, let me take it back local. When Eshawn was talking about smoking wet and popping masculines, he had motherfuckers around Detroit smoking wet and popping masculines because he talking about, I'm in the Belly Projects in Cleveland smoking wet and shooting at people. Now everybody in Detroit, what a masculine? What a wet at?
I mean, you're exactly. And that's the strength we have. You got to think about perks. The pills perks been around, man, long. You go.
Percocet's been around for years.
They will give you that for pain and everything else, right? And so now all it did was rap about it, and now you see crack, heroin, that shit going to the wayside. Now it's pills. So I'm saying we control the culture of the world, and once we really realize that, and we talking about in a big financial way, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to think. Nobody was taking private jets, but billionaires. You feel what I'm saying? Now, once rappers talking about G4s, G5s, and Cash Money showing it, Hova showing it, and showing these planes and getting off these private planes and all this other stuff. Next thing you know, you got private planes being built, getting on helicopters. More helicopters was built. Rolls Royce didn't sell over 2,000 Rolls Royces a year in the United States before rappers started glorifying Rolls Royces. Now you look at it. Ferraris, Lamborghinis. You could go to Italy when I was in the Navy and get a Lamborghini, you know what I'm saying, in Italy, or a Ferrari for like $30,000 and then ship it back to the United States. And then if you was riding around in it, they looking at you crazy. But now what? So I'm saying all this to say, when we finally realize who we are as hip hop, right? We can change things for the better because what we say goes. You know what I'm saying? What we do, what we wear, what we eat. Think about how many people talking about they're vegans now. Because a few rappers like, I don't eat. How many people grew up eating pork? And then when we got a few rappers say, man, I see said, man, I don't eat pork. I don't eat that pig. Next thing you know, you're not even eating hot sausage, smoked sausage. You're not eating hot dogs, nothing no more. And then,
I actually don't eat pork because I found out what the pig actually was.
Oh, yeah. And then I've been away from that. I don't eat red meat. You know what I mean? But the point I'm saying, though, man, we as in hip hop, man, everybody, podcast guys, you know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are, manager, producer, DJ, you know what I'm saying, rap artist, you interviewing people, your media, rap media, hip hop culture. If we really understand who we are as a whole culture as a whole, we can change a lot. But it'll never, I hate to say it, it'll never come to be. It'll never come to be because we the one thing that make us also break us. Rap is the most egotistical sport in the world. Everybody thinks they're the best. And so they would never be able to stand next to somebody and say, you know what I'm saying, let's do this together. Because it's gonna be who the biggest in the room.
Competition.
You know, who got money.
And now these people are quicker to pull up too. Like it's not even about rapping to to some extent too. Because now it's not just talking or like you do a diss track. It was like now they're just quicker to. That's real talk. And then also like talk about your dead ops on top of it on some songs. Like if you seen some of that,
Man, I like I said, I can't never down the young generation of music. Whether I listen to some of it, I listen to a lot of it.
Oh,
You know
me
what
too.
I'm saying? But I can never down them. But at the same time, man, see some real disrespectful shit up in there, man. Like when they say smoking on such and such and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
that's what I was.
Man.
Yeah.
That's dead, man. But I think a lot of these kids starve for attention, man. When a lot of them they get into music, and because when I got into it, bro, it was about a dream. I just wanted people to know who I was and what my block and my city was about. I think guys got different motives now.
Yeah,
That's facts.
that's deep. Yeah.
What do you think about how's the hip hop scene in New Orleans? Like, how's it going now and shit? Like, Detroit is popping right now with the young artists. How's New Orleans?
It's a new generation, man. I'm gonna tell you a few names. Cole Youngin, and y'all have one out in Detroit, man. CGG, he out in Detroit, but he's from New Orleans. His BG nephew, BG home, God bless. But we got down there, man. Rob 49, but we got kid Cole Youngin, either Illis, his name the Illis. I don't want to say his name wrong. He's Junior Montana. Be on the lookout for Junior Montana. He's one of them. You know what I'm saying? So, and we got some females coming, man. Jay Austin, we got Jack Joe, Mia's son. It's a few down there, man. But a few that I name, and I don't want to miss them because New Orleans dudes, they get in their feelings, man. You miss their name, but we got a scene that's really rising down there. And I think we're going to get our stamp back on the map, so to say, because it's been a while since Cash Money and No Limit. And so Rob 49 right now is the one that's out there, and I love the kid, man. The kid is holding the torch. He's doing what he needs to do. And we got our guy that's more Christian, but he do his thing, man, D1. And then we have Currency, of course. Currency's still there. You know what I'm saying? He has his own movement, and that's little bro, but we got a few, man. This kid Coda Youngin, Junior Montana, man, to name a few. It's a nice scene down there, man, and they're being themselves. They're being New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that we like, because Baton Rouge is an hour out, and they doing their thing, man. The artists that come out there.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that. I was getting ready to mention CeeLo, because I fuck with CeeLo hard.
Yeah, see, that's the homie, man. That's family. But
him Webby, Weeby, the South Coast Coalition. I had all them. All them take, bro.
You taking me back, definitely.
Hey, let me ask you this, Serv-On. BG got out today. What you think about that? Yesterday.
Yeah.
He got out yesterday.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep, hear you loud and clear, brother. Yeah.
Enjoy, bro. He
wasn't supposed to be back there like that. And what people, people just know the gangster music. That's what they do, man. You know, and he is young. You know, even during the no limit cash money, you know, you see him and it's like, what's happening? You know, what's up, bro? Why? What's happening? You know, so it's so good to see him because he deserves to be home. You know, his son is a beast too, but his son, I think, doing time right now. And I always think about if he was home, his son wouldn't be doing time. You know, but his son is a hell of a rapper. You know, but I'm happy that he's home, bro. I'm so happy. He's gonna be up there probably in Detroit, you know, for a minute, because that's where, you know, his auntie is at. And stuff for him. And, you know, Carol Dorsey, who's out there in Detroit. And so, you know, that's him to me. So I'm happy, bro. I'm happy for him. Now we got one more, man. We got to get C home.
C Murder.
And that C Murder situation, I heard a couple of your songs, or I heard you on another interview. It sounded like you and C Murder was kind of friends, huh?
Friends, man. We was brothers, man. You know, the thing was, his name is Corey and my name is Corey. So it used to be, you know, we go back when we was very we was younger. You know what I'm saying? And then once we got to know them together, you know, that's my guy. And I'm not proud to say this, you know, if I swung, he swung. If he swung, I swung. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no if and ain't no blinking, ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? What, you know, and he and I always tell people always talk about the gangster part of it, man. The same way with Soulja Slim. You know, what I love about C Hart, man. You talking about somebody that he didn't have to know you. Whatever he can for you, anything you need. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's somebody that if he was out of town, he's from your family to make sure they're okay. You know, he's a good dude, man, and he's innocent. You know, and that's the hard part about it. But he'll be home soon, man. He'll be home.
That's what's up.
Yeah, free C Murder. Shit. I see Kim Kardashian picked up his case and shit. She trying to get him up.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
He's getting help, man.
Man, I was just listening to that old song, always look a man in the eyes before you kill him. And C Murder was coming so hard on that. Man, C Murder was so young then.
Yeah, but the thing about it was crazy. C was a hell of a basketball player too, though.
Oh, I know.
You know, a lot of people, man, don't know. You know, we all played ball. And the funny thing, bro, I'm 6'3" and I was a shorter. And so, you know, we're not like the rappers you see now. And they talk about they can play ball, they make a little shit here and there. You know, we played for real. You know,
actually,
so but
my big brother ADR from the Bay, from Frisco, he was telling me about how he used to see Master P and Silk and C Murder hooping all the time.
Yeah, at the Oakland YMCL, we go to San Jose.
Oh, YMCL. Yep, he was my big brother was telling me about that.
We used to play in the Bay, man. All the Chris Webber, all of me. Everything.
Damn. All right, so
that was my prayer. That was my prayer alarm. My prayer alarm. My bad. That was my prayer alarm.
Oh, no problem.
Hey, Serv-On. So, when you think about Ghetto D, right? That intro make him crack like this, man. That shit right there make him crack like this. Hey,
dope.
Man, listen, hearing that motherfucking water bubble in that. What?
Yeah. It speaks volumes.
This is how we do it. Make crack like this.
Hey, listen. To break down, that whole breakdown, man, was just it was genius back then. At that time, it was like, damn, they breaking down how to make crack. Man, boy,
I'm gonna put my soldiers in the game and tell you how to make crack for cocaine. One, look for the nigga with the whitest snow. Don't buy for a nigga that you don't know. Make your way to the stove where the kitchen, where the stoves be. We get the baking soda. I got the D. I listen to that every day, bro.
Let me tell you something. That album.
The
King X
lyrical.
act like he was in the studio with them when they was recording that shit.
You know what
What'd
I'm
you
telling
say?
you, bro? Waiting for that
The,
album,
Hey,
right?
I said the lyrical historian.
you can
Yeah.
tell. Hey, you can tell that when King X singing that it bring back memories, and that's what music do, man. We listen to y'all music, man. Any of our music, anybody who got music out or anything that you do, when people listen to it, it affect people's lives. We got to know that.
Yeah.
Man, bro, I've been a No Limit fan since Mama's Bad Boy. Since Mama's Bad Boy. That's 1990.
But you know my favorite song he ever did was Ghetto Trying to Kill Me. That
The
was
ghetto trying to kill me.
Oh, man. When he
Ghetto,
sampled the top of the world beat.
brother. Let me tell you something. When he did Ghetto D, that was the first album I saw him. He was always focused. He was always grinding and hustling, dog. I still to this day, man. I only sleep 2 to 3 hours, bro, because we didn't get no sleep. You know what I'm saying? Because he was grinding hard, man. I watched the real rap game. You know, going to the stores, getting stuff on consignment. You know, which he learned from E40 Uncle. You know, St. Charles.
St. Charles.
But I'm gonna tell you something. See, when it was time to do Ghetto D, I saw my big bro be very serious. When I mean very serious, he was meticulous about that whole album. You get what I'm saying? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he was about that album, man. It was. I think that album to him was his most important album because he knew what it was gonna do. And once that album dropped, it seemed like we was already rising and we was already there, but it took us to another plateau. And he took that album so serious, even though he took all his other stuff serious. Don't get me wrong. With all the other albums, he was in and out. Like come and drop a few songs, leave, go fly, go take care of business. Come back, go take care of family. Come back. But with Ghetto D, that was the first time I never seen him leave. He stayed the whole 2 weeks. Because you know, I know he had 2 weeks to turn in 28 songs, or your album didn't come out. So we ain't do 6 months. We didn't do a year to do an album. We wasn't allowed. You had to turn in song in 2 weeks, or your album didn't come out. And I watched him the whole 2 weeks. I watched him pick his beat, like, you know, not like his usual way. He might come in there and KB playing something. He said, that's nice. And he go to freestyling to it. Then he said, Golden Boot. He never wrote. He never wrote a song in his life. Every song
I
you
already
heard.
know. He freestyled.
But when Ghetto D came,
Murder, right?
I watched him do it different. I watched him sit down, KL play beats, and he wouldn't freestyle it out. Like, cause his method was you'll play KL or play a beat, and he'll freestyle. Then he'd go in the booth and say, press play. With Ghetto D, he sat there and he said, pull up a beat. He listened. Then he said, put that to the side. He took his time, and he knew where he wanted us at on the songs, which songs. And even with that Nathan Crack, you know, that was, you know, him and C sat down and they wanted that motherfucker to be so visual. He with Ghetto D, he straight told us, he said, I'm gonna do an album and every song people gonna be able to listen and see it. You know what I'm saying? And just like you telling me about how Naked Crack, how it come on, it was so realistic. Listen to every. You can really sit there and listen to them and visualize it. Either it happened in your life or it happened with somebody you know. And so he took that. That album was gonna be.
Yeah, it was dope. My shit on there was I'ma be your nigga. You can keep your man, but you don't have to leave him everybody. And then the backup plan. Jump in my 96 Hummer. That was my shit.
And that was real too. That song was like some real shit.
Like I know Gangsters Need Love. Gangsters Need Love. That was dope. Shit. If you want me, come get me. How the fuck you gonna take me? I got my true niggas with me and we ride us. That was my man. That whole album was a classic. Front to back bangers. Not one song to skip.
But he knew at that time, he knew for him to make his mark, because he wanted to be more than just, okay, this is a guy that's putting out a lot of albums, we selling albums, we doing this. He wanted that album to stand amongst the best albums that was ever created. So he really, I mean, from the cover to the changing the color of the CD, the CD boxes orange and this, that, and that, something that had never been seen. He basically, and he even sat down because he always dude was a genius, man. Even with my album cover, Life Insurance, you know what I'm saying? He knew, he sat down and he was with how he came up with shit. He would sit down, right, and he'd just be quiet, dog. Don't say nothing. And then he'd turn around and he'd say, "Okay, sir, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna be laying in the coffin." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I ain't trying to get in that motherfucker right now, man."
Yeah.
No, just understand it. And then he take me, and it's so funny. We in the Bay, right? And just how genius this dude is. We in the Bay, and so he bring me. We go in the street, and I see a fucking hearse. I'm like, "Say, bro, where you bringing me to, dog? What's the problem?" He said, "Don't trip. We got the cameras." And so he's like, "I'm gonna open the door. And on the hearse, and the hearse had gold D's on it. This was all his mind. This is what he said and saw. He sat down for 30 minutes before we left the apartment, and he said, "I got it." And we went. He called a couple of people. We get by the hearse. He opened the door. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He said, "You'll see." Then the commercial, when he opened the door on the hearse on gold D's, the album cover came out. Right? If you ever see the commercial, and then we had the commercial that me and him riding in the on gold D's. So he was like, "Now I want you to get in the coffin." I said, "Bro, I'm not getting in no coffin. It ain't my time."
Oh man.
Laid me on the floor, and they took the picture, and he made them. This was all his thinking, and put me in the coffin. But he knew what paper meant to me. See, people ask me life insurance, right? And I asked any of y'all, what do you think I meant by life insurance? Okay, let me tell you what life insurance was meant. My album. When you come into this world, what you get a birth certificate? It's with paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Security card is what on paper, right?
Yep.
Now your death certificate is on paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you hope, which is a piece of paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all you chase money, and it's what? A piece of paper.
Piece of paper.
Your whole life is insured by the facts on paper. If you got to go get something you need, your social security card, your birth certificate, your ID is a piece of paper before they put it in plastic. So your life is insured based on what papers you got, and that's what life insurance was about.
Damn. Like it randomly came to mind also when you saying that is also another thing. Like I remember KRS-One talking about when you go to all these years of college and stuff. What also do you get with the diploma? What's the diploma made of? Paper.
Paper.
And
Randomly, but it's another
diploma, and a diploma defines for you how much you really make. Because you and all of us on here could be better media guys, right? But if we don't have that diploma, they're gonna pay us $50,000. But because Joe Blow got that diploma, he gonna get $80,000. And you get what I'm saying? So everything on paper, and your whole life, what you chase, money, paper. You know what I'm saying? So it's insured. Your existence is insured by paperwork. What they always say, you go to jail or any situation, your paperwork. You know what I'm saying?
Go to the hospital, paperwork.
Have your paperwork. And so,
job application, paperwork. Right.
He was a genius, man. That's who he was, man. He was a dude that people heard their things, what they feel about him. And I watched the dude on airplane. The only time that dude slept was when he was on airplanes. That's it. And the one good thing I love about him, most dudes that's the boss is not gonna teach you what he knows. You know what I'm saying? Because you're afraid you're gonna walk off or leave or take it and go do what you got to do. With him, you ask him why you did that. Why I watched him work Walmart and Target and made them bid against each other to order Ghetto D. Like I'm talking about, we talking Walmart and Target. This dude sit in the room and told Walmart said we'll order 50,000 of them, right? If you give us 10%. He turned over to the people at Target, and he was like, "Target, I give y'all 11%. What you gonna order?" And they said 75,000. Walmart said, "You give us 11%, we'll do 100,000." They kept going backwards and forwards. Before you know it, Ghetto D was shipping out 3 million.
Damn.
This dude right there and did this with they main salespeople. You know what I'm saying? He was very calculated. Yeah, man. It was beautiful to watch.
Yeah. That's what's up.
So, what does Mr. Serv-On got going on? You got some new music dropping? You got some new videos, any movies, what do you got going on right now?
Oh man, shit, where am I start at? You know, see Vibe World right now. Vibe World is gonna be something that y'all gonna see a lot of. You know, first Vibe World consists of an audio company. I got my own headphones that's gonna change the game. You know, for artists. You know, meaning like for instance, what's your favorite artist that you can hear all the time, that you can hear on the road the whole time, his whole catalog?
Shit, Pop.
Pop. Now imagine if you bought a pair of headphones. Imagine if you bought a pair of headphones with Pac's whole catalog on it, or earbuds with like I got in my ear with Pac's whole catalog on it.
I hope you got this
and
shit copywritten though.
Oh, I own it. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they come out now, and so then they special made. I made them specially for myself. So trust me, I own Vibe World. I own everything, bro. Trust me, I come from peace. And so we got our headphones coming.
You in the D right now. You in the D, my baby.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you one thing I don't worry about. With New Orleans, we make sure we control our business, man. So, you know, but at the same time, man, we doing everything audio, man, because I really want to help artists out. I want to give them more ways to make money. And then we have our app called Vibe World Vibe, which now you're going to get paid not on just streaming, you're going to get paid directly. So if your album, you want $5.95 for your album, and 1,000 people get it, your 5,000 will be sitting there right there, just like a direct transaction. No more waiting for your money. You know what I'm saying? And then nobody can down you. You know, and so within that, you're going to be able to get your merchandise and anything you want done and ship directly. And then also now we got Vibe World Sports Agency. You know what I'm saying? And so we got a few players, man, that's going to be in the draft. We got a couple of players already in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And we're a different type of agency because we also created Vibe World Collective, and that's an image and branding company. And so what I do is like our first player, Lance Robinson, down in Tulane, he's projected to go in the first round, possibly early second round. You know, what we're doing different is I don't want players to become Shaq, MJ, and Magic as businessmen after they career. So what we doing now with players now, we making them businessmen before they even get to the NFL and NBA. You know what I'm saying? We taking, you know, we do revenue sharing. So we deal with companies instead of NIL deals that they just give you 5,000, 10,000 and go make 10 million off that athlete. We deal with the fact that we get our athletes, you know, revenue sharing. So meaning if I come and say, I want you to wear these headphones, we're going to create his own headphones and then he's a 50-50 partner. You know what I'm saying? So we're creating a better athlete, a more smarter athlete that's going into the NBA and NFL not broke. You know, already the family is good. They're businessmen. We creating their LLC. We creating building their business credit. We building them into a business entity before they touch the NFL and teaching them how to deal with their money. So, you know, and that's Vibe World Collective. And then we got Vibe World Sports Agency, you know, and then we also have Vibe Candy. You know what I'm saying? And what we doing with that, that's for athletes, entertainers, you know, that they can have their own candy, their own flavor, you know what I'm saying, and do revenue sharing with them. You know, so my thing is with the artists, you know, I'm doing a lot of this. Yeah, I'm dealing with the athletes, but I'm doing a lot of this for my young artists because, again, what we talked about earlier, bro, I want them to see the business side. I want them to be better businessmen. So if I come to you and say, let me give you your own nerd cluster with your face on it, your city, we're going to roll your fans, Now you sharing revenue, and now you're a business owner. You know what I'm saying? And you're not just relying upon your music. You're not just relying upon. And if I could get your mind to be business wise, it's gonna be less you won't be, because you're gonna be too busy. You know, so Vibe World stands for, man. I feel like this, man. Whether it's 9 to 5, no matter what you're doing, your vibe is your vibe. It's a beautiful vibe. Be proud of it. And that's what Vibe World stands for. I don't care who you are, what race you are, no matter what, man. I don't care what gender you are. Wherever you are, bro, your vibe is your vibe. It's a beautiful vibe. And that's what I want to put on for kids with Vibe World. Like, whatever your vibe is, man. I call you a nerd, I call you a genius. That's your vibe. If you like reading books and you smart, and just like you just showed me your puppy, man. If you love dogs, that's your vibe. Be proud of your vibe, man. You are a vibe. Everybody out there that's listening right now, man, you a vibe. No matter what you're doing, if you're selling popsicle sticks, man, sell the hell out them motherfuckers. That's your vibe. Don't let nobody your vibe from you. And so that's what Vibe World is about. You know what I'm saying? Just bringing a beautiful energy to tell somebody, you know, like me. If you're working at McDonald's, you've been for 15 years, man, that's your business, man. That means you're damn good at it, because it took you for 15 years. Learn everything that you at McDonald's one day. And that's your vibe. And you are a beautiful vibe, no matter who you are. You know, and be proud of it. Don't let nobody take away your vibe. And that's what Vibe World is about outside of business. It's about uplifting and telling people to find their vibe, love their vibe, and roll with their vibe. You know what I'm saying? Even with your look, how you dress. You know what I'm saying? How you wear your hair, man. Don't let nobody change that. That's your vibe, and it's beautiful. You know, and that's what we're gonna push along with business. And I deal with HBCU heroes. That's real important to me. We go to HBCUs and speak to the kids about business. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to get their mindset to understand, you know, how important it is. Because whether a lot of people know, in a few years, man, your social security number ain't gonna be worth shit. You're gonna have to be an entity, be a business. You're gonna have to have that EIN. You're gonna have to have things and brand. You're no longer gonna be such and such person in your social. It's gonna be about your entity, your business entity. You know, and that's what I wanna, you know, teach my young dudes, man, and teach, you know, my young ladies and just people out there, period. You know, so that's what Vibe World is, man. So that's what now music wise, I've decided to kind of open up the vault, man. So on my birthday, September 18th, coming up, I'm dropping the Pac-Man album. And, you know, it's gonna come with my own marijuana strain, you know, the Pac vibe. And so after that I'm dropping a EP. I'm dropping every month till January. You know, after that I'm dropping an album called Black Love. And it's all songs with females, man. Just the showcase of it, understanding, you know, like, you know, we all forgot about love, man. You know what I mean?
Like
Whatever.
the misogyny that always gets confused with it. You know, like they always mix it up because it sell records. But yeah, you bring in the respect,
You know,
and
no marriage no more, man. There's no relationships no more, man. So for me, I got a grown album called Black Love, man, and one song that's gonna be the first song I'm releasing. A lot of fellas gonna get mad at me when I do this, but I got a song that I call "I'm Sorry," which I'm apologizing to my kid's mother for the way I act, and you know, and not understanding the blessings that you know she sacrificed to give me. And you know, and I feel like I'm speaking for a lot of men, just saying a lot of these females that's bitter, these kids' mothers, all you gotta do, I think, is just tell them you're sorry. I'm sorry. You know, and I think it'll better some things with you and your, you know, kids' mom, you know, so you can see your kids or whatever. So I'm really, you know, that's one of the first songs, you know, and it's so funny that you guys said Jill Scott earlier. I redid one of her songs, and she's on the hook on one of the songs. So you know, it's gonna be an interesting album, man. So you know, I think it's a more grown me. You know, then after that, man, I got an album called Building Money. You know, and that's just more or less, you know, almost on my Jay-Z thing, more or less like really speaking some, you know, some serious knowledge. You know, so I'll be dropping every month until January.
That's what's up.
That's
We
what's
look
up.
forward to that.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
that same kid you talking about who painted face with the horns on his head, I worked with him. That's how I know who you talking about. I worked
Yeah,
with
I'm
him.
not.
You forget, I come from horrorcore. I
Here
know
come brother
everybody
King
on
Gas
that
with the
circuit.
horrorcore again.
And I heard you earlier about the with the song I did with SCP. Yeah.
Shout out to horrorcore. Shout out to horrorcore and all them people that was over there doing their thing, whatever they was doing.
Mhm. You know,
Shout out to the
yeah.
horrorcore because I am from that. I do come from that, so I can't
Yes,
knock
Shout
it.
out to
yes.
the horrorcore and
And
all
all
them
of us
people
in
over there
some
with
way.
fangs
Yeah.
and blood and shit.
What I
Salute
said
gangster.
earlier,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I
Salute
said earlier,
gangster.
vibe, man. That's a beautiful vibe. No, that's part of hip hop. You feel what I'm saying? No,
Mm.
you don't have to emphasize and say that's where I come from. Just say, man, hardcore, and that's what it is.
Yeah,
You
you
feel what I'm
still
Gangsters
saying?
don't talk.
Scarface.
Gangsters
No,
John
I'm
don't
Wayne
just
took
talk.
over the hip hop as
I'm
horrorcore.
just letting people know that's where I
Definitely.
come from, and I ain't on that no.
But not,
Gangsters
but I'm
don't
just,
talk.
Gangsters.
but my thing is, man, what I tell anybody, man, and I salute you, bro, for your change and your, you know what I'm saying, the way you found your path, but a lot of times, man, we always in the past, but our past makes us who we are in the present. All I tell people is, and I live by a saying, don't let your past pass you up and keep you from going forward and staying in front of you. You know what I'm saying? But still
Mm-hmm.
embrace who you were and what you did because that wasn't your failure, that was your learning. And I tell people, I tell young dudes, you don't fail, you
Oh no,
learn.
I never said it was a failure. You know what I'm saying? Don't
No,
get
no,
me
no,
wrong. I did.
no, I didn't say that. I was saying, I want you, man, look, that's what I did. That was part of rap, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was so
Part of the
hip
As,
hop.
people.
as a because as a matter of fact, one of the A&Rs at Atlantic was actually writing a piece on me saying how I started off as horrorcore and how it was refreshing that I reinvented myself doing what I'm doing now.
Do you know how important you are? Like really important because of that story, what you just said, how important you are. Because if you can change from that mindset, who you were to being who you were now, who you are now, you should you can be a instrument for a lot of young people. That it might not be the fact that I'm talking about the young kids mind who all this I'm on demon time and this and that and that and
Right.
putting with it. You know what I'm saying?
Like
But
I
so
right, like I literally got horrorcore rappers that we mess with since I changed my style, want to do what I'm doing now. They was like, oh shit, now we want to do what they doing.
and that's but just remember that, man. One thing, if you get a chance, man, start talking to kids, man. Write your book, man. Let them know your path, man. You know what I'm saying? We all got to
Oh,
do our.
I talk to kids all the time. I got nieces, nephews, everybody in the neighborhood call me Uncle Nate because I'm the only
Yeah,
OG that don't treat them bad and talk down on 'em.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing, man. That's what we all have to do, bro. If we was part of the problem, we got to be part of the solution.
Yeah, that's why I was speaking on like another track, like saying that all in the same gang and shit. Like I feel like that could help hip hop out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If that everybody's seen that, I feel like this 50 years of hip hop helped bring more awareness to a lot of the younger artists and shit coming up because it has been getting so much attention. Every city's doing their top 50, doing their own celebrations and shit, and it's kind of helping hip hop. I believe like the old school, the OGs in hip hop that are still making music and shit and dropping music. I feel like it helped out.
Well, and Nas both said it, man. Like, man, drop your music, man. Rap the only place that they try to cash you out when you get a little older. Rock and roll, R&B, country, you do it till the day that you lay in that casket, man, and nobody tripping on you. Rap is the only thing, and I think a lot of young people need to see rappers from my generation that was just straight hard, man. And man is different. Listen to some of them who put music out. I think a lot of these young kids need to see this. So put up. That's why I opened my vote up, man. I have a folder, man, with over 300
Hey,
songs in it, and I wasn't gonna release any of them. I was leaving them to my son to release when I'm no longer here. you know, and I just decided to just open that folder up, man, and start putting stuff out. You know what I'm saying? And people gonna get to hear how I was thinking over the last 15 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Do you see it?
Hey,
Do
you
you
know
see it
what?
like
That's why I was.
do you see it like a diary? Like when you make some
yeah,
of these
so,
songs, it's like a diary. It's like a diary entry. You know, like
because Tupac once said, man, Tupac said, every day of your life is a song. And so I used to try to do a song every day. And for 1 month, I did songs about my day. Every night, I did a song about that day and what I was thinking and what might have happened that day I saw on the news or whatever. And I did like for 30 days straight. I did that. And when I look back at it, and this was right when COVID started because we was on tour. We had just started the tour, and then COVID stopped. So now I'm at home. So I'm really doing songs at night. What I'm watching on TV, everything that's going on, how much, and I look back at this, dang. You know what I'm saying? If you ever
yeah.
sit down and think of the day at the end of the day, and everything that you went through, and everything that you saw, whether it's on TV,
Hey,
whether it's
that's how I used to. That's how I came up with what's my concepts from my songs about stuff I did throughout the day. I remember I had this song when I graduated from high school out in '98. 18, 19, I got a job. I'm doing landscaping with my uncle, and I'm working at the warehouse with my stepdaddy, right? So I got a little female on the way. So I'm sitting up here writing the song. Yeah, I'm about to cash my check, about to go cut some grass. Then after that, I'm about to get some ass. You know what I'm saying? But it was true shit. But it was true shit because I just got finished working with my uncle. He just cashed his out, and I was on my way to fuck with a female. I didn't say I was about to sell some dope and get some ass. I said I was gonna cut some grass, make some cash, and then I'm gonna get some ass.
but rap started off storytelling. So that's the beauty of doing. Rap started off as storytelling. You know what I'm saying?
Early
It's a
body,
young,
you know, like with Rick, Slick Rick, you know, like to name a few.
Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Lottie Dottie, Children's Story, Gangsta, fucking shit.
the message.
Ed B for president because he's telling the story about his DJ.
Shit, Boys in the Hood was a story.
Boys in the Hood, 6 in the morning, Colors.
I truly wish
Hell, Funky Dividends, three times dope. Funky Dividends, Glamorous Life.
This one, Kicking Boogers.
Yep. This Market Law, man.
The papers.
Yes. Like one of my biggest inspirations too. Yeah.
Say, bro, when you look back, and I know y'all agree with this, man. Rap get a bad rap today. You know what I'm saying? And we got our bad apples. Every genre of music got their bad apples. We're not the only. But man, when you look at the beauty of this shit, man, from all the way back then, the type of artist, man, where you looking at somebody like, where people don't even mention Heavy D. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that was my guy. That's who inspired me to want to rap. I was like, I'm like he a big yellow nigga like me.
My brother right here.
T-Roy.
Oh yeah.
T-Roy, his dancer. His backup dancer. He died. He broke his neck in the show.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I seen that.
About this though, man. When you read because like you say, we born in '69. So this the thing. You talk about this. Father MC.
Father MC, yeah.
I want to hit you with a 69. Yeah. I want to hit you with a 69. Yeah.
Even with the West Coast.
He was rocking the Bobby Brown cut.
One of my favorite artists is out the Midwest. That's in my top 15 of all time. MC Breeze. Nobody talks about Breeze.
Nobody. We talk about him all the time. If you're
from like you say, if you're from the Midwest or if you're from Detroit, we fuck with Breeze. Shit, ain't no future in your friend. We fuck with Breeze. So he talked about it just whatever area you in.
Hey, but I tell you who I was fucking with before MC Breeze dropped though. from
Look
Flint.
at
Jake the Flake.
that.
Oh yeah.
Jake the Flake drop
Jake,
was
Jake,
already
Jake,
out.
Jake the Flake wasn't out before Breed, but they both is from Flint. But Jake wasn't out before Breed.
But you
That's
gotta
what I'm
really
saying. No, Jake the Flake was underground. He was selling. He wasn't as big as them.
Right.
He was just selling them
Right.
tapes. I heard one of his
Yeah.
tapes
but I'm
Yeah,
gonna
for
tell you
sure.
like
For sure.
with his name written on it.
For
when
sure.
you know you did it. People didn't even know Flint existed. If you say Flint, right? Me talking about the
Yeah.
Flintstones, right? MC Breed was so effective, they made people start looking at the map like, what the fuck is Flint? Oh, that's Detroit, right by Detroit. See, you knew Detroit. Detroit is legendary, right? But this is when you know you had an impact as an artist. When people start saying, man, I want to go see what Flint really like he talking about. That's the impact, dog. And people don't talk about Breed when they say, you know, like I did a song that'll be coming out, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about, and I'm naming names, right? And so, you know, when you talk about the Midwest, because I got an analogy that I put out, right? I feel like what rap is, right? New York is the father. That's where it started, right? That's the father.
Yep.
West
Yep.
Coast
Agree.
is the son that always starting shit, always getting into it, acting up, right? The South
Yeah.
is the Midwest is the son that's quiet, but if you fuck with him, it's some problems. He the quiet son. That don't bother him because Midwest dudes are cool as shit, but you cross them, it's some problems.
Yeah. Not to be
Deal with
taken
them.
lightly.
So to me, that's the quiet brother that you don't play with, right? And the South is the little brother that just always was trying to prove to the West Coast brother, to the East Coast, New York, you know, the father that
The other
hey,
brothers.
I like yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's the West Coast is the son that caused all the problems. Because with West Coast artists, they're always beefing. They always going at everybody, right? They go to jail. They ain't tripping. The New York is the father. They started this shit, right? The Midwest is that brother that's cool, that you can count on. But if you cross him, you got some problems. And the South is that little brother that just like, look at us, man. You got to work harder. You got to get better because your big brothers are the Midwest and the you know the Midwest and the West. You know what I'm saying? And so, I feel like when you talk about rap, man, I feel like the Midwest don't get enough. I truly don't. I don't.
We don't.
That's
We don't.
exactly, yeah. We can talk about this for me from Tucson, you know, Arizona. I've always looked up to.
The Midwest don't, because when it comes to
They don't get enough.
hip hop, when it comes to Midwest hip hop, it's more than just Michigan. I didn't hear tapes of cats from Ohio. I didn't hear cats from Omaha, Nebraska. I didn't hear tapes from cats from St. Louis. All
But see, that's
all around.
That's what I'm saying. You got a lot of legendary platinum, multi-platinum artists out the Midwest. You know, when they say your favorite rap group, how the hell you can't say Do or Die, you can't say Bone Thugs and Homies?
Crucial conflict, shit. I mean,
Crucial.
Right.
Only
Psychodrama.
They'll say Wu-Tang, they'll say NWA, and they'll say the Ghetto Boys, right? You feel what I'm saying? But it's the Midwest. You feel what I'm saying? How influential the Midwest, and now look at what the Midwest has done with drill music and all that. You know, the influence of it. You know, and then you look at with Detroit. You know, and I'm gonna give even not. I wasn't on with this interview. I'll say this. You know, even with Detroit, when you really look at the Sada Babies and all that, man, and I knew the style of music that Detroit had. You know, the up tempo. You feel what I'm saying? And I know Detroit had lyricists. See, when people got to hear the Royces and the Eminems and things like that, I'm like, nah, Detroit been had lyrical motherfuckers.
We been had Awesome Dre from back in the day. Merciless Amir.
And I never understood why they don't put Detroit in the fact of lyricists. Because when you really
they try to hold Detroit. They try to hold Detroit back.
You know,
they try to hold Detroit back in hip hop for the simple fact because Motown had a lot on R&B back in the day, and they don't want that to happen again.
Detroit brought a lot of looks to the culture. You know what I'm saying? Everybody you see with Cartiers on and all that, when it just started.
All that come from the deep.
Yeah.
There
Cartiers,
was a lot of Detroit
Elmer
people behind the
Pelican.
scenes, like on West Coast, East Coast, down south.
What was
Yeah,
the
we did it.
jackets we was talking about yesterday, Gutter? It was like yesterday or the day before. He was talking about them jackets and stuff. Everybody
Nah,
was
Party jackets.
yeah.
Mm. Yep.
When so niggas in Detroit was wearing,
Amazon.
you know what I'm saying? Oh hell, you know that they brought me to L, that to the spot. What's L? What's on the clothing store? When I was out of
I was son. Now, I grew up out the corner
That's exactly
down the
what.
street, Southwest Detroit, Southwest T from the BMF. He works
Man,
up there right now.
back in the day, bro. I don't even like talking about this, but my daddy was one of the biggest drug dealers, and he lived in El Wasan.
Yeah, I knew I was son when I was a little kid.
This was in the 80s. This was in the 80s.
What I'm
I
talking
shot
about.
my drip chick video in Detroit, and the jacket that I got on, the leather jackets I got on, that's where I got it from. El Wasan.
I was a kid when I seen Outkast wearing. I'm like, damn, Al Wasan done blew up. I didn't never think a guy from Southwest Detroit would blow up like that in the hip hop. I was in prison looking at a double XL in like '99, 2000, something like that, and I seen Outkast busting the Al Wasan, the jackets. I'm like, damn.
You know, when I was in the Navy, and my two dudes that were from Detroit, when it got cold, right, and them motherfuckers pulled the fucking leather jackets, dog. And I'm talking about with the colors on them and shit. One night he got on red. He got a red pellet, whatever, whatever he had. It didn't matter. He got it from Detroit, right? And next night he got on blue. And I'm like, man, what them bitches nice, man. What's up with that? And he was like, shit, this is Detroit. So he took me to Detroit one weekend. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay, because New Orleans is different from any city in the South. Because when I was in the military and I get dressed, I got polos on, I got, leather jackets, putting on Jordans and all this other shit. And they looking like, where you from again? New Orleans is different. You know what I'm saying? Because we're a melting pot of so many people. You know what I'm saying? And so Detroit was my dudes from Detroit was Yum, the dudes from DC. DC and Detroit was the dudes that Tamika dressed their ass off. And that's the first time I saw Cartier too. The lens. That's the first time I saw.
Hey, you know what? To be real, remember when Biggie and Puffy was wearing Coogis real hard?
Yeah.
You know where they got that from? They got this from this rap group from Detroit named yall that they was gonna sign. yall was been wearing that since the 80s. They was already on it.
Oh. Bro, my dude from Detroit was we talking 89, 90. My dude from Detroit was wearing Sergio Tacchini jogging suits and Coogee sweaters, nigga, in 89, 90, 91. You know what I'm saying? And even the dude in the Virginia, it was like, man, what these niggas got on? That shit look good. And they was wearing shirts, jogging suits, and all that shit back then. You feel what I'm saying? Detroit brought a lot of. But Detroit, the thing that why people didn't know Detroit brought these styles in, because rappers from Detroit didn't say it and didn't talk about it. Think about what Biggie said. I say Coogee down from my shirt to my sweater. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then he came back. Then he came back with another song because I Coogie's in Gators, like Detroit players, and he went back and told everybody where he got it from.
Somebody else said it. Where Detroit rappers didn't talk about it. But if they talked about it, then people would know that most of the styles, a lot of shit came from Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. You know what? You know who else said that? JD from the Lynch Mob was saying the same thing. Because JD from the Lynch Mob originally from Detroit.
Like right now, like 5.0 and the Hellcats and all that shit, that's Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
We build them bitches. We build them.
But I'm saying before motherfuckers were screaming about Hellcats and Spec, when I was out of Detroit years ago, when the motherfuckers started pushing them motherfuckers, right? Another thing Detroit really initiated, all this Hellcat, Scat Packs and all that, that's the deep.
But charges, all that.
Charges that, definitely. So you know what I mean? So, Detroit just never was the type to think, this how we live. So we ain't gonna talk about it. You know, so a lot of people don't. A lot of styles came out the D. You feel what I'm saying? So.
And they sometimes like were translated, like where they were thought to be from other places, because that was something I was going to point out. Is a lot of rappers were seen to be coming from the West Coast, because we have that kind of in common vibe. Like for us out here, Arizona, we're right next door to California.
Hey, Blad, I can go to the Bay right now, and I could point out at least 20 rappers that's originally from Detroit.
But yeah, that people don't know too.
From Detroit. Exhibit from the east side, Detroit.
Shit, look at DJ Unknown from Content Most Wanted. Where he from?
No, true.
What was the female rapper back in Detroit?
Boss. You think of Boss?
Boss. She was rapping with Pop.
That's one of our homeboys. That's one of our homeboys' wife. That's one of our homeboys' wife. Pole Same girl.
And Borsalini, though. Hey, can't forget about Borsalini.
Borsalini.
Yeah.
I don't really wanna feel like I'm in a bay, so I smoke big bills in the grip.
That was
it's fucking with me and my grip. I drink that same nice shit and smoke a ticket at the same time, dropping wicked wine on my naughty nature.
Say, bro, somebody gotta do a Detroit documentary or movie on Detroit rap history and what they brought to the. They do.
The untold story of Detroit hip hop on Tubi right now.
And Amazon. Narrating it from Public Enemy.
Chuck D narrating. And Esham and another cat named Chaptown is the ones telling the story.
Yeah. But if they tell it right, bro, it's gonna open a lot of eyes.
Oh no, they telling it right.
You know what I'm saying?
I love
and I would be interested really to see it if it's done right. You know what I'm saying?
They even talk about Kid Rock punk ass on there.
That motherfucker there, man.
Without camouflage and all the stuff, it's like the real story.
That motherfucker come from a town called Romeo, Michigan. Lived in a ranch-style mansion, 6 cars in the garage. Daddy is the biggest Ford dealer in the country. Mama is the president of the university. Brother actor, sister actress.
And he was acting like he was from nothing.
From the trailer park. He was rapping about being the trailer park.
And you talking about you from the trailer park.
Play devil's advocate. Hey, listen, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I ain't no Kid Rock fan or none of that. And y'all know what I stand on. I'm red, black, and green all day. But I'm gonna just say this in regards to Kid Rock and us just being from the D. Even if we got a problem with motherfuckers, man, and they ain't represent like they supposed to represent, then we get with them in their face, dog. Because we be out on this social media shit, the world be watching us, and they be waiting for us to have a broke link in our chain. We ain't got no broke link. You feel me? We fuck with Kid Rock, and even if he do some whole shit, the household will deal with him, the city will deal with him. It ain't for nobody else to hear about it. That's just how I feel.
I mean, they all
like a family.
With Kid Rock shit is all on the news and social media. You know what I'm saying? He already put this shit out there.
Oh, okay. But I don't know what he did because I ain't following him, man. I'm in my own lane. I'm doing my own journey.
He's waving the rebel flag and he's supporting Trump. I guess that's why everybody's hating.
They actually had a video clip of him in his own club. Calling black women black bitches. They actually had them saying that. Yeah. They actually showed them saying that.
Yeah.
And they actually showed them saying some other racist shit. That's why you think he got put out of Little Caesars Arena. Mike Ellis wasn't having that.
Yeah. Hey, well, guess what though? It was a fold up white chair somewhere near him. Didn't nobody grab it? Next story. For real. I mean, because at the end of the day, man, it's our fault for letting certain people in our circles and allowing them the opportunity to disrespect us and take it as, oh, it's cool because they grew up with us, or it's slang.
Yeah.
No,
to me, it's like that. Detroit, it's like a family right there. And it's like
My thing,
it's
my
really
thing
just by
is,
decision.
here's my
The family.
thing. Here's my thing with Kid Rock. I used to fuck with Kid Rock until I heard one of his songs and he said the N word, and I was like, oh, I can't fuck with you.
But
That
see,
shit on that ICP album.
let me say something, man. Let me say this. And
Yeah, man.
he said, I agree with it. You know what I'm saying? But let me make something understand. And this is the thing I always say to black people, right? When if you don't speak conscious, right, and this one I'm not woke or this one not woke or whatever we're not, well, let's go deeper into it. Cause I feel like this is if if you on some shit like it's, and there's no disrespect to anybody on here, if you on some shit like fuck white people and all y'all, y'all weak and y'all not woke and whatever we're not. So this is what we do. Then I don't want you to use not a motherfucking thing that's created by a white man. You feel what I'm saying? And Killer Mike said this real good. Killer Mike said the realest shit.
Oh, Killer Mike.
He said
Yeah.
we talk a lot of shit, but we're not ready for revolution. Are we ready to stand next to each other? Are we ready to make those, and say, you know what? If I'm going to go to the grocery store, right? I see that.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
And
Red, black, and green.
I'm gonna go to the grocery store, I'm gonna go to a black owned grocery store. If I'm gonna wear clothes, I'm gonna wear black owned clothes. You get what I'm saying? Are we ready?
But see, the thing is here, we ain't got no black owned grocery stores here.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. They are
Not in Detroit.
But that's the point that I'm saying though, right? But at the same time, what I'm really saying to you is, to a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's like the point of saying, like, are you gonna stand next to your brother? If these things happen, you know what I'm saying? Are you ready to make the ultimate sacrifice? There's gonna be sacrifices in it. You feel what I'm saying? And you can't jump back. And what I tell anybody, man, and I tell people, I'm not gonna sit here, like you said, the red, black, and the green. You know what I'm saying? That's through and through for me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I look at life like this. As black people, we got this one big elephant in the room that we gotta fix. We gotta stop hating each other. We gotta stop hurting each other. You understand what I'm saying? And when we can get to that point that we value each other's life a little better, we'll be stronger. You know what I'm saying? Until then. But what I do love is every guy that sit around, just like you just put that in the screen for me to see. And then made it known, like, man, red, black, and green. I love that. And I pray that you teaching young dudes, you know what I'm saying, what it really means. Because a lot of people, a lot of dudes don't know what it means to be black. They just, you know what I'm saying? They black when
to be black is to be black is to be a god, to be a direct descendant of Allah himself.
A lot of dudes feel a lot of guys become black when somebody white says something racist. Then I'm black. Then I'm blacker than blacker than black. You feel what I'm saying? But if you not
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black.
You know what I'm saying? Where you teaching your kids and what the real is in this world, to me it's like don't come at me with that if you're not living it every day. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I see a lot of dudes, man. Like we have to, as black people, understand who we are now. You know what I'm saying? We have to find another way because economically we losing because a lot of us don't understand it. That's just like me. If I go talk, like I talk to a lot of people, I go talk, right? And the first thing, I listen to everybody in the room, and they go to talking, and one day somebody told me, man, the killing gotta. That's when everything gonna get better. When the killing, I said no. I said it's not just about the killing. I said when are we gonna become economically smart? When are we gonna stop being illiterate when it comes to financial matters? That's gonna give black people in a better situation. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta really look at it. We the only race. I'm gonna say some shit that's real. We the only race where we come from is called the hood. You know what a hood means? A hood is a criminal. Okay? So we the only place. So I've been practicing not saying the hood. I practice saying the black community because in everybody else race, you got the Asian community, the Jewish community. You feel what I'm saying? The Arab community. But guess what they call our shit? The hood.
I
You
think
know
it
what I'm
was
saying?
Big
Well, John,
Sean who said
you
that.
got Little Italy, you got Chinatown, but no, like Kim Shabazz, I remember, got Chinatown, but never a black, you know.
But think about it. Everybody other race, they got community behind it. They call our shit the hood. You feel what I'm saying? And if you, a hood is a criminal, right? So basically, and everything within our community is not bad. And that's what I need people.
No, it ain't.
We've had the road from the concrete. We have many of them out there. We got many young scholars. We got many people that come from basically inner city. You know what I'm saying? And we just keep on saying we're going to hang on to this from the hood. Nah, you from a black community. And we got to start finding pride in it. We got to start protecting that situation. You know what I'm saying? And because I feel like this, man, when I was growing up, New Orleans was considered the murder capital of the world. And I remember how they slowed the shit down, right? Which I didn't like, but they put substations in the community, basically, in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Like they did up here.
But one of the things that I looked at, man, and I said this not too long ago. See, in New Orleans, 75% of the police force is black. And see, we got an issue in every black community where if a kid say, I want to grow up to be a policeman, or you want to be a snitch. Well, see, in New Orleans, we don't have police not murdering in New Orleans. Yeah, they crooked. They got some of them that's fucked up. But you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, we basically, in so many ways, I get pulled over, I'm looking at a black man. You get what I'm saying? And so, but within the black community, instead of telling some of these young dudes, go be a policeman. So guess what? Who's police in the area? In the Asian community, they police themselves. In New Orleans, a policeman ain't even going in the Asian community if they take care of their own business. And I think there's a lot of things that we have to change. And brothers that are woke and have the knowledge and understanding, we got to band together and start going to the communities and talk. You know what I'm saying? And putting these rules together for them to live behind. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's going to be the answer, and teaching more, financial literacy, man, because you got a mother that got 3 kids and her taxes, she gets $10,000, right? 10 grand, right? And probably never get her Social Security ever. Right? So it's probably about 500-600. Now say she take 1,000 or 2, you know what I'm saying, and then get her credit together. She had 750, and now she could get a nice house. She can buy the house she living at, or she can buy a house in an area, you know what I'm saying, where kids can grow up free of some of those things. But we're not going to tell our people that. You know what I'm saying? I read a book when I was younger, man, what rich white men tell their sons. It's the most eye-opening book I ever read. Because we tell our kids growing up, stay out of trouble, don't get on drugs, don't go to jail. Rich white man teaches his son about his Social Security number, about credit, about finances. You know what I'm saying? And so, we got to change the narrative, man, and that's when things going to be better. And all our brothers that's strong, that's woke, don't look down on people, teach. And that's how I feel about that whole situation.
So, shout out to Staten Island in the building. They said Christopher Jordan wants to say I want to thank Mr.
What up, Chris
Serv-On
Jordan?
for the music he gave us. Said you definitely deserve your stars, your roses. Definitely a legend, no doubt. Shout out Staten Island. Much love. We got a good New York following ever since we had like Just Ice and we rock with Cuban Link and shit. So New York fucks with us and shit. But
My price is the reason I wear these at the bottom, man. The silver. I didn't get golds like everybody else when I was young. I got silver because of Just Ice.
yeah, because Just Ice was Just Ice originally with the grills. Because I know the South, I mean, is known for the grills.
Yeah. Flavor Flav had the grill forever. Slick Rick.
These are real, but I got silver instead of getting gold because I was a Just Ice fan.
That's
I used to
dope.
listen to Just Like Schoolie D. You know what I'm saying? All of them, man. I was a big
People ask me what does it mean.
Cool G rap fan. Yeah, I was a big Cool G rap fan. But Just Ice was like some.
Man, I ain't gonna get started on Cool G rap. I remember one day, this when he brought out that album 456 and then 456. So I'm got to get ready to go to work in the morning. I'm turning in to go to bed. I leave my TV on the video channel, right? And the first thing I hear is chirry chirry chirry. It's a damn shame what to do to make a dollar. Man, tell me why I woke out my bed instantly because I hold Cool G rap voice.
Cool G rap, man. That was one of them for me. But Just Ice is the reason when I decided to go get, normal New Orleans dude gonna get gold. I got silver because I was a Just Ice fan because that's what he had in his mouth.
Just Ice and shit. Yeah.
What up, Just Ice?
Man, but I'm gonna tell you guys something. I want to tell you guys.
We done
I
took
gotta
over a
say,
couple hours of your time. I don't want to hold you up, Mr. Serv-On. I know you probably a busy man. You got a lot of shit going on.
it's all good, man. The reason why it's not no problem because I want to tell you guys something, man, and I really want y'all to hit it. I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of what y'all doing. And the reason why because as black people and as rappers, we never had our own media. And people get mad when I say this. I feel like all these podcasts, y'all are our black media. Y'all are our media. We can come on here and say something in the world fears. And I think y'all might not realize who y'all really are and how important y'all are. You know what I'm saying? So I really salute you guys, man, because, the platforms you guys create, man, as media guys, podcast guys, man, we didn't have this. We used to just hope to get an interview in a magazine. And now you guys give us a chance to guys like me that's still here doing my thing. Y'all still give us a voice, something that we wouldn't get out there if it wasn't for y'all. So I want to let all you guys on here know, man, what y'all doing is so important, man. It's more than just views, bro. You know what I'm saying? You guys are what we at No Limit we dreamed of. Everybody having their own thing, independent, doing their thing, no matter what within it, man. So y'all keep doing what y'all doing, bro. Do not stop. Because if y'all stop, man, rappers ain't gonna have a voice. Artists ain't gonna have a voice. The little guy who might not be a platinum artist, he not gonna have a voice. Nobody gonna see him if y'all stop. So y'all are very important, bro. So please understand who y'all are. From somebody like me who starved to just get an article in Vibe or something like that, now I could come on here and talk to the world. And that's because of y'all. So y'all do not stop, man. Keep y'all shit going because, man, I'm proud of y'all, man. Y'all independent. Y'all doing some shit that couldn't be done. And thanks to Luke Skywalker who went to jail for the freedom of speech for us to do what we could do as artists and moderators and whatever. But to you guys, bro, I'm proud of y'all, man, and I appreciate y'all, man. And do not stop giving people a voice, bro. Don't whatever y'all do.
Oh yeah, but
And
before you go, what you were saying about with the kids and stuff, I have been hand selected by my minister to teach the youth about the music business at the Muhammad University of Islam.
It's good. You know what I'm saying? Please do so, man. And I know before I get off here, if y'all got any questions, man, I love this platform. And I love who y'all are. Y'all all are different. Y'all all speak your mind in a different way. And there's more shows like this needed. Do not ever change your format, bro. You know what I'm saying? I stayed on here long. I stayed on here long because I love the format. I love the conversation. We talk about everything. And it is needed more, man. I'll make sure y'all
man, we had one show when I taught Nation of Islam literature through the whole show. We were supposed to have another guest on, but he ended up having a family emergency.
But regardless, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, please, bro. The last thing I could say to you guys, definitely Number one, I'm proud of y'all. Please, bruh, do not stop what y'all doing. Do not stop how y'all do it. I love this platform. I done been on a lot. And this is one where we talked about everything and everybody spoke their mind and everybody got a different view. And that's what the world need more. And these young artists, bro, they need y'all more than ever. And artists that can come and tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? And y'all doing a great job, bro. Y'all what we dreamed of at No Limit. Independent and doing what the hell y'all want to do. And marching at y'all drums. So please don't stop, man. That's all I ask y'all, man. Don't change up. Don't stop. You know what I'm saying? God bless and I appreciate y'all, man.
Much love, Mr. Serv-On. We appreciate
Much
you.
love, much love, OG.
Yeah, salute.
Glad. I mean, it was an honor and a privilege to have someone had to have you on the show. You know what I'm saying? All us, we all grew up on your music, bro.
And it's an honor, bro. It was an honor to talk to you guys, man. Y'all my
but I feel more honored for the simple fact that, you know what I'm saying, y'all gave a damn about me at this point in my career to have me on y'all show. So you guys, man, God bless you, man. Y'all stay in health. You know what I'm saying, and continue being who y'all are, man. Please don't change. I love this format, bro. Each one of y'all different. You know what I'm saying? Do not change, bro. That's all I ask y'all, bro. And fight and keep y'all show going, bro.
We appreciate that,
God
man.
bless.
For real.
Appreciate that.
Salute, Mr. Serv-On.
Salute.
All right, baby.
All right, much love,
Brody.
family.
Got
Blatonio,
Serv-On
I
in the
think your
building,
mic's
man.
muted.
From No Limit, man. A legend. That's like iconic shit just popped off in the Hood Smokers Roundtable, man. I really appreciate, man, being invited to this jump off. Blatonio, King X, Jay Gutter, man. Y'all, like he said, man, don't stop, man. Keep going. Hood Smokers Podcast
Bro, I
is,
appreciate you
is
popping on, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I've been missing you coming on talking your shit.
Yeah, you welcome anytime,
so I'm
Mr.
I'm
Go.
I'm
You already
around,
know.
man. Hey, but you know, we all going through our journeys, man. And right now, man, I'm just like as we go through our journeys, we just gotta understand, like when we need to transform like Voltron, we can. And then other than that, man, we gotta be trying to solidify ourselves in this journey. So that's what I'm on.
Oh man, I'm with you, brother.
Hey, Blatonio, your microphone's off. I've seen you been talking, but I ain't been hearing nothing, and I see the little slash in the mic. There we
There you
go.
go. There you go. Yeah. Nah.
Because Mr. Serv-On was talking about a lot of stuff we had just talked
Yeah.
about like yesterday, the day before. It was
Yeah.
crazy he brought up Al Wassam because I was just telling Blatonio about Al Wassam and all that
We
shit.
was talking about that shit the other day.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because we was talking about having Southwest T on here, maybe get some gangsters on here. You know what I'm saying? How we was talking before about maybe getting some OGs. Because I don't know if you caught that, but the interview with on I forgot the channel it was on, but he was from Best Friends. He fought with Maserati Rick and them. He was a hitman. What's his name?
I know Nate
Boom,
Boone.
boom,
Nate
boom,
Boone.
I remember
boom.
you
Nate
mentioned
Boone.
it. Yeah.
Doing
Nate
interviews
Boone.
right now.
Nathaniel
Yeah,
Boone.
Boone doing interviews
Nathaniel
right now.
Boone.
Yeah, and I seen that. I was like, damn. In one day, he had got like a 500,000 hits. So obviously, people want to hear what these OGs are saying from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? People want to. People is watching. They tuning
Hey, you
in.
know what? It's a
Some people want
blessing.
to know just the
It's
different
a
stuff, like get
it's a
to know them as a
blessing.
person.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing that Nate Boone is still around to be 60 years old. Is still around, given what he been through and what he did, bro. Because my moms know him personally, bro. They, you know what I'm saying? They same generation. You know what I'm saying? Because what he went through, bro, it was a grace of Allah that he made it out, bro. You know what I'm saying? That man could have been dead years ago.
Right, and now
Years
he's out
ago.
here telling this story. No, it was crazy.
And we
He was
need
the one who gave Maserati the gun that they found Maserati Rick's under his pillow when he got murdered and shit. He was the one. Boom told the host. I watched like a 2 hour interview with him. I was like, damn, he put it all out there because he already been convicted and everything, so he could speak on
Hey,
that.
was it American Dope?
Damn, I can't remember the channel right now. It was just up a few
Because I know
days
my
ago.
boy, because I know my boy L Prophet. He be doing a lot of interviews. Who do American
It
Dope? L
wasn't Al
Prophet, that's my
Prophet
man.
though, but Al Prophet probably do got one with Boone. I wouldn't doubt
Hey,
that.
me and L Prophet used to rap together, bro.
Al Prophet. I fuck with Al Prophet. Shout out Al Prophet if you
Yeah,
watching this shit.
yeah, me, him, and my god brother, we got so many songs together, bro. We did in the early '90s, never released.
Yeah, he got a channel that be slapping. He does all them Detroit. He does them the gangster interviews and shit. But
Man, it's great to see Mr. Go-To on here, you know, with us, man. It's like,
hey, bro,
you know,
look,
that's my
American Dope Hat
oh shit,
Yo,
from Al Prophet himself.
huh?
dope from Al Prophet himself.
Oh, Al
The
Prophet.
American Dope Hat from Al Prophet himself. I used to rap with Al Prophet. Me and Al Prophet used to be a group.
So,
yeah,
shout out Christopher Jordan again. Said you are now
yeah, salute,
one podcast
Christopher
in
Jordan.
America.
Yeah,
Said Mr. Grocer, you welcome it on anytime. I mean, we got which I think Christopher Jordan's actually gonna join us for this one from Staten Island. We got coming up this weekend, Saturday night. We got Cool Kim from the UMCs and shit. Staten
From the
Island.
UMC.
Then we got Lil
yep.
Rick coming up after that from No Limit, the original to sign to No Limit, first artist P ever signed.
That was the first No Limit artist, Lil Rick.
We can't. Okay, Mr. Go.
You said Little Rick?
Lil Rick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lil Rick.
Yeah.
He from Richmond.
But yeah, it was an honor having you on here too. Shout out Mr. Serv-On for
Always,
coming on.
yeah.
For sure, man. I just soaking up the game, man. And then like he was pretty much transparent with with his answers. So that's all that matters, man. When God just be straight up, man. Everybody that so far, man, that I've seen this step our way, man. They don't be BSing. You know what I'm saying? They keep it 100. So and then I think sometimes they be trying to figure out if like what they dealing with. And they don't even understand. They just dealing with a bunch of guys that's done been that way before. Like gangsters don't talk. Like I was watching that video, y'all boys. Okay?
Yeah.
Like Gutter looked like he just wanted to fuck somebody up. He was like, I don't want to say no motherfucking verse. I want a motherfucker to get wrong in this bitch.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, man. But hey, man. But you're doing some epic stuff overall over at Hood Smokers, man. Y'all holding it down over there, man. You Black Tony and King X, man. Y'all holding it down with the consistency of bringing forth what may be considered relics. You be bringing shit out the catacomb. You be coming I be like, who the fuck? I forgot about them.
Hey, bro, hey, bro, that be me. I got an old soul, bro. I got an old soul. Like when I reached out to Just Nice, I remember who I grew up listening to and who influenced me.
Like I owe him for the rest of my life.
I always been for the pioneers and the influencers of the culture. Because without them, no us.
Yeah.
Hey, well.
That's how
we
all hip hop babies.
We gotta get somebody like Nikki D from Daddy's Little Girl on here. You know what I'm saying? Some old school females, Roxanne Shante, the real Shante.
I didn't reach out to them on Instagram. I didn't hit up Shy Rock. I ain't got an answer from none of them.
Shit, we need to get Boss on here and shit. I mean, when I had
all we gotta do is talk to Poe.
I talked to Poe. Poe said she has some new music coming out, but I mean, that's what Poe said when I interviewed.
Well, you know what? I suggest we just find her Facebook page and talk to our damn self, bro.
Yeah, hey, and get with Stretch Money. Get with Stretch Money and get Bossellini information. Because Bossellini, I don't know if Bossellini and Stretch still together, but they used to be a couple. So I'm sure he probably could get.
I remember I heard Bossellini on that Black Orchid remix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
No doubt. Stretch Money, that's family. Shout out Stretch Money and Valley.
Hey, look at Black Tony talking about, the Black Orchid. You don't know about the Black Orchid.
Well, no, okay. Now, I later learned about the club. Yes.
I literally
the track.
I literally grew up around the corner from the Black Orchid. literally grew
Shit,
up
how
around
come
the
they
corner
closed
from the
down the
Black
Brass
Orchid,
Key?
bro.
What's up with
Saying,
that? Why'd they close the
what
Brass
black
Key?
orchid you grew up around the corner from? The real black orchid or the new black orchid?
The old
Oh.
Black Orchid that was on Illinois across right by Dotnet Strip up across the street from Uptown Barbecue.
Oh yeah.
You know they
Okay.
closed
Yeah.
down the Brass Key
Okay.
too.
Hey,
You know,
That's how
I'm
I
gonna let
should
you.
have learned
Hey,
about it. Because after the song, I
I'm gonna
loved
let
it
you
by
fly through the city. You can fly through the rest of the city.
yeah. What's up, honey?
Fly
Good
through the
mommy.
rest of the city now. He said the old Illinois by Uptown Barbecue.
Living. Illinois was
He
killing
trying to let a motherfucker know that he know what he talking about by Uptown Barbecue.
Hey, I know
He
about the
ain't say
sting. I know about the sting.
the sting, yeah.
Yeah.
The sting used to be so small. The sting was
It
small
did.
and it used to have a shower in that bitch.
But
The
it was
females
still
used to
all the
dance
rapper
inside the
spots
shower.
though.
Nah,
All
we
the
know
rappers.
about that.
So it
The
was
rap.
smaller. It was smaller than like them when I was there.
Yeah,
It was
they
like
remodeled
smaller.
that
Man,
bitch.
way smaller than that. It was way smaller than that. And when it was smaller than that, Jeezy and Pinky was in that bitch one night. It cost $500 to get in that motherfucker.
Shit, Proof
Oh,
used to
damn.
be in there on the regular. Proof was off
Yeah,
there
that's
at
what.
the
That's what.
stand
Yep, I
all
heard
the
about proof.
time.
Was yeah.
But what about the
Yeah,
Brass Key?
that
Keyshawn
bitch,
used to always
that
rap
bitch
about
was
the Brass
packed.
Key. The Brass Key, Mr. Go-To.
The
That bitch was
Brass Key
on.
is now Gold Diggers. It's
Yeah,
Gold Diggers now.
oh, I thought that bitch was completely done, so they did get new
No, it's
management
Gold
on
And
that.
Diggers. Come on, you
what
know
about
Illinois,
Tigers? Was that a
that's
was
my,
that a
you
good
know that's
club?
my area, bro. Illinois is my area.
Yeah, Livernois is my area too. I be over there. I shoot all the way up and down Livernois, all the way from
You know,
motherfucking
argue
down
about that
4th
area.
Street all the way up
What,
to
what about
Hey,
what about
you
Tigers?
know what I
As
mean?
a matter of fact, when I was
yo,
younger, I used to catch the bus to shoe fair on Illinois Port and buy Adidas.
man, you keep trying to talk about all this Detroit shit like you trying to prove yourself to some other Detroit motherfuckers, man. We all from the same way. We don't want to hear that shit. We
I
know
don't
what
know.
that
I ain't
shit
trying to
is.
prove
We ain't
myself.
talking that's why you some tourists and stuff. We talking about the
Brother
shit
King
there.
S gonna start talking about the Coney
Well,
Island. I
Hey,
tie him in there. What
what
about
about All
Olympia,
Stars?
Coney
What
Island?
about All
I just
Stars?
ate there the other day. I tie him in Livernois and
hey,
You
Olympia,
know,
listen,
Coney Island.
you know, I'd be.
hey, Gutter. Talking about the shoe there when we used to have to go in there and wipe dust off the shoes. Hey, y'all got these in the size 11. But one thing about the shoe fair, they had every pair of top tiers in that motherfucker, boy.
Yeah.
I used to catch the bus to that motherfucker right on the living, bro.
Yeah, the shoe fair had every pair of tens that you wanted. Every pair.
And then when I lived on Linwood and Claremont, I used to catch the Claremont straight to court because it's just right there.
Yeah, but you stayed on Linwood and Claremont. You was over there when Dog had that clothing store.
Who's that?
What clothing store?
The basketball player. What's his name? What's it?
Derek
Derek Coleman.
Coleman.
Derek Coleman had a basket. He had a tennis shoe over there.
Hey, you know what?
Oh, damn.
I was moving when he was building up that plaza.
Oh yeah. Yeah, don't make me think like I'm going crazy around this bitch.
Because I lived on Taylor. Because I used to live
I'm
on
a
Taylor
deep
between.
nigga for sure. Hey, he gonna say what basketball? What store? Like, and
I
then
had to
Gunna was
think.
like, oh yeah. Gunna be let see Gunna been going through the city for a long time. Y'all gotta watch that video that they just posted the other day. That Gangsters Don't Talk. That video there. If
Yeah.
you see that video, you gotta
Yes,
give
it
Gunna a
is.
whole lot more respect now, boy, because he been slinging them things. He let you know in that video.
Man, I already
Yeah.
know,
No,
bro.
that
Man,
video you
House
talking
the
about?
thing, house the thing, jump around, look around, look around.
Everlast right there in the house.
Everlast.
like real talk.
Everlast.
When we was KDT at KDT shows, me and Gutter was the only ones that was really down to bang it down for the.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was watching that live video I shared from Rock's TV the other day, and it was like me and Brother King X, me and Nate, kind of like we both looked dressed the same. We had the same KDT shit on. It was like we didn't even talk, but it was like we coordinated. But then Mad Butcher, shout out Mad Butcher, I know he's tuned in.
Oh yeah,
And
salute Mad Bush.
Smoking Joe, it kind of
It
looked
ain't
like
too much.
we had our own group. You know what I'm saying? Almost when I was watching that performance and shit, like.
Listen though, Gutter. It's only so much you can do when you wearing black and white. You talk about everybody got to wear all black, and then you talk about damn, we coordinated. We went really trying to coordinate. Let's talk and stuff. You got a
No, because
somebody had like, you know,
that
like
was the whole
somebody had,
thing.
everybody had different shit on their shirt. Everybody had different
Right.
shit on their shirt. But y'all had on black
I
t-shirts.
mean,
What,
right.
what was
See,
it?
that was the
Yeah,
thing.
because
KDT was
he
supposed
had
to
his
be.
own
It was
thing.
the colors for KDT was supposed to be black and gray. So every time we do a show, me and Gunner, the only ones in black and gray. KD black, saying KD t-shirt and everything. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, one dressed this way, one do another way. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hating, but you know what I'm saying? We wanted to make it look uniform. So that's what we were doing.
That's true. Because Butcher used to come out with like blue KDT. Joe would go get a special shirt made just for that night and shit. We like all different colors and shit with different logos and shit. And then me and Brother King S coming wearing the same shit. But you know, it is what
Y'all,
it is.
so y'all been a dynamic duo for a minute, low key.
Blatonio busted one
I
of the
mean,
shirts. He got that
Gutter
from Mad Butcher
Gutter
on
was
the
my
TV.
homeboy. Gutter was my homeboy before KD, bro. We was already homies, bro.
Yeah, me and Brother King X knew each other before KDT. But we always been a part of KDT, even Blatonio and shit, you know what I'm saying? So it was and shout out to Mad Butcher, you know what I'm saying? And I know Smoking Joe down there in Florida and shit. D Menace, William
Yep.
Alexander. Y'all still doing
Yep.
your thing.
I salute, yeah, D Menace.
But shit, anything you guys want to
Hell,
say before we jump out of here? You know I gotta play Dice What Up though. That's like been our outro track every show now and shit.
Gutter was with me when I was choking out, about to choke out the whole show.
Shit, remember when you snatched the mic
Oh,
from Bizarre? Shout out Bizarre though. I mean, I was just chopping it up with my messenger,
Oh
but
yeah, when I
Brother
said,
King X snatched
when
the
I
mic
said,
out his hand and went off.
Shout out Eminem, man. I ain't man. Listen, shout out Eminem, man. Eminem is a great.
oh, I got love for him. I got
individual.
love for him, bro. Real talk. I got
He's a
love for him.
brilliant individual, man. I mean, shout out anybody that's an entertainer from Detroit, period. Because the
yeah.
thing is, we got to understand that we be killing ourselves low key and we don't be paying attention to it. And we talk bad about our city or certain rappers or certain experiences in the public's eye. The public don't need to know about our business, man. If it is business, it need to be taken care of one on one, face to face, mouth to ear. Gangster shit. Killers don't talk. Fuck is y'all talking
Yeah.
about? Y'all got the shirts on that say killers don't talk. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, when it comes to Detroit and our history, some of it's to be told and some of it's to be sold and some of it's not to be talked about at all.
Right.
Quiet is kept.
That's something I do think Detroit got going for.
Some shit regarding certain rappers was already put out there. It was already out there.
Yeah, Detroit
I
pretty
ain't
much
talking
politics itself,
about
you know what I'm
anything
saying?
that's been made. Listen, anything that's been made public record, anything that's already been in the news or something like that, ain't no way possible that if you continue to talk about it or discuss it, that a person can make you be the root or the cause or the creator of that content. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, man, we just got to make sure that when we talk, under the pretense when we talk, even when we talking to somebody interviewing, we want them to know that we Trump tight over here so that nobody even get comfortable with thinking they can come on a hood smokers and get to talking about somebody or talking about some shit that, you know, might not have nothing to do with us. We can mediate some shit, but at the end of the day, man, listen, we running this shit right now, man. We on top. We running this shit. Hood smokers definitely got the avenue, they got the resources and the motherfucking to be number one, unprecedented, new, no fly zone. Gotta check in with Gutter first, flat out. Motherfuckers ain't checking in with Gutter.
That's appreciated.
And saying, what up, though?
And that's coming from Mr. Go-To. And
Yeah, no, that's much
gotta check in
appreciated.
with
You
him.
know,
We on the podcast game or that radio game, you know what I'm saying?
like to put it briefly, it's like that's what we try and avoid, not bring up those questions that everybody tune in for, of like, oh, they want to know what, you know, like we've had people who've had beefs and stuff. We don't bring that up. We
We
let
didn't
people.
talk one time about what I peeped about Serv-On. I was watching some of his interviews, dog. Everybody asking the same shit. They want to know about P and Baby beefing and Cash Money and No Limit beefing. We didn't even talk about no beefing and shit.
I mean, honestly, I really don't give a fuck about the man that shit. I just care about
We wanted to talk to Mr. Serv-On.
Mr.
That's what we
I
trying
see
to
Serv-On
do.
somebody
What
is
we
put
bring
up
still
you.
there like,
around and
oh,
still
Mr.
breathing and
Serv-On
making
talked
music.
about no limited cash money beef and Master P and Baby getting into it, and then they like that drama bullshit. We try not to do it, but if you mainstream artists come at us like Fat Joe, Lil Joey, we ain't going back the fuck down.
And
That's Detroit
and
culture, motherfucker. We
Yeah.
don't back
don't forget
down.
about
Fuck the
Telefid
ghetto.
Khalid.
Oh man, now you just
Telefid
mentioned.
Khalid. Don't forget about Telefid.
Talib already knows what's up though. That's why he
Hey,
chilling right now.
don't talk about my brother like that, man.
Right.
He been fucking with us right
Hey,
now, low key.
this motherfucker fucked me up when they said Talib Kweli got this motherfucker. What is it? Not even it wasn't even what Mongoloid. What is albino brother?
Albino brother.
His
Albino
albino
brother.
brother, y'all motherfuckers
Telefib,
crazy, man.
Telefib Kweli, that turned into a series and shit.
The albino brother.
Yeah,
Find that
Hey,
on
hey,
Talib's
hey,
page.
hey,
He
Mr. Go,
posted
hey,
that.
Mr. Go to, did you hear the apology I did to Twali Kweli?
Yeah, there's an
Yeah.
apology.
Yeah, listen, this is what I don't understand though.
go ahead, man.
Why? I wanted to ask y'all a question. I wanted to ask y'all, what specifically did he do to spark y'all putting y'all foot in his ass?
He started with us.
He did basically the same thing like Tony Sunshine and Fat Joe did when we had Cuban Link out, but we was having
We
Kid
had
Vicious
Kid
on.
Vicious on.
And him and
Yeah,
Kid
Kid
Vicious
Vicious,
had
who,
problems.
yeah.
So he kind of jumped in and started tagging. He seen Kid Vicious was coming on our show, and we was commenting on the vicious shit, and he started tagging us and shit, calling us Nazi shit. He didn't call us Nazis. He called us Nazi
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 sympathizer.
supporter.
Nazi
supporters because he
sympathizer.
supported Kid Vicious. Which how the fuck that
Because
doesn't sound right and shit. But we took Vicious's back, you know what I'm saying? Fuck Talib and shit. And we went in on him and he started tagging us in all these posts, talking shit. He got Kid Vicious Instagram took down because his brother works at Meta and shit. So I mean, he
And
got
then,
restrictions on
and
our
then he
shit.
kept getting my my post blocked. Like I went on Facebook, they was like, "Cause of your post, that's offensive." I'm like, I ain't even posted shit about 2 weeks on this bitch.
Yeah, so we just roasted his ass and shit. He kind of
yeah,
chilled now. He started talking a little shit, and then we had, which I think you would have been the perfect co-host for, because we had
oh,
Ryan Glover and a porn star. What was her name?
I wish you could have been on that
I
one.
forgot
All
You would
right,
have been
yeah,
on
what
Ryan
there.
it
Glover
Y'all
was.
two
and
that would have been strong.
Amara Ramani.
That would have been the perfect show for the Black House
Hell
Star
yeah,
right
that would have
there.
been like some I ain't gonna lie type shit right there.
Right, right,
Yeah, cause
right.
she had some shit about Telefib that he liked sexually. She was telling. I'm like, I don't even want to hear no about
I'm already picturing Mr. Go-To asking some questions like, I got some questions for girl here. Like,
Yeah,
so
because
what was it
Ask
like
questions for.
pegging Talib Kweli in?
Talib was paying her to what is it?
Yeah, to peg him. Have you heard
Tag
of
him.
that term?
yeah,
To peg him. What?
yeah.
Yeah, to peg to live Kweli.
Apparently,
Yeah,
Talib and Fat Joe like to get pegged and shit.
like sought him out online, like she said on the internet. You know, because I did ask that question, like how that happened, and I guess he happened to be in her city, and he like talked some stuff about liking to get pegged, or wanted to get pegged by her. So
Hey, excuse me. Excuse me if I'm not like politically correct with this terminology that's being produced, being dialogue to me right now. What does peg mean?
He likes a
That means
motherfucking
he likes
dildo
to
up
take
his
it in the
ass.
ass.
yeah,
He likes to get dead in the
I'm
ass with a
surprised
dildo
that
by a woman.
He like it up the rectum.
yeah, like he like a
So,
strap on.
so okay, I got you, Black Tony. So let me get back on this. So Talib Kweli, the motherfucker that say they like to get high, like to get that song guy there right there likes to get the New York guy
Mm-hmm.
likes to get
He ain't
pegged.
from New York.
Like to get pegged. Like to get yeah.
He likes to get pegged with a third leg.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And he ain't from New
Yeah.
York. He's from
Word
the
from the
suburbs of
porn
Cincinnati.
industry.
From where the King X say he
He's
ain't
from
from New York.
He's from the
Where
suburbs
he
of
from?
Cincinnati. He's from Cincinnati. He's from the
Cincinnati.
suburbs. He said it. He said it. He come from a well-to-do family. Lived in the suburbs.
from the suburbs of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He said it on this. He said it on this show.
He got his ass whooped over there by some rappers in Cincinnati.
Yeah, but he took that punch. He took that punch.
That was his response. I took it.
I took that punch.
What did he say? I took that punch.
I took that punch. So I saw these guys. They came along. You know, they came up. I saw some things wasn't good, and then when I came up, one of them hit me, and I took that punch. So you know, I took that punch.
I took that punch. You should have told Blatonio that. Blatonio, I see the little videos you making y'all crazy, boy.
Yeah, well, because you seen the back and forth, they're like, yeah, and people was like, you need to do something with him. So you do him, you know, like you do the impression, you know, like, all right, I'll do one.
People
and I ended up
doing more. Even Talib fans is asking for more and shit. They want more Talib Kweli.
Yeah, his own fans want more.
I don't see what's wrong. Like the shit funny. His own fans was saying that. It would say top fan. And they telling Talib like this dude's funny. Talking about Blatonio because he posted it and said, look at this racist trying to be like me. This and that. Oh, he wants to be like me so bad.
I was trying to give him a platform to like kind of like self-parody. You know, like when you see somebody who's being clowned about shit. And that's all I was doing. I thought he'd be like, okay.
If he really was game conscious and thought about any sort of promotion, then he would link up and y'all could do a video together. He could make fun of it himself like they do on Saturday Night Live.
Exactly.
And that's what I was thinking of when I made it.
That was the whole angle, bro.
Yeah. Because deep down, I almost think
if he want to get pegged by the third leg in the back of his head, so be it.
So be it.
By the third leg in the back of
his legacy
head.
Went to a Pegasus. His legacy went to a Pegasus.
His legacy went to a Pegasus.
Had all types of pegging jokes that whole night.
Hey, what happens in Vegas? We
Reaganomics. We grew up with Reaganomics, then it went to Peganomics, man.
I was like he grew up in the pagan area. We was like he grew up in the pagan area.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's so paganistic. He's so paganistic. Oh,
but
man.
He just kept pegging it on. He kept pegging it on, man.
They just pegging this shit up. Hey, pegging this shit up. He just pegged this shit all up.
He is racist. I'm like, yeah. Tried to peg me as a racist,
man.
Hey,
is we still live?
Yeah, we're live. I think we go ahead and end the show. I'm gonna play dice. What up though? Because we just did 3 hours with no music and shit. So shout out Mr Serv-On for chopping it up with us for that much time. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the whole in the camp.
Imagine he watching that shit right now.
But y'all go ahead. Anything y'all want to say before I play this dice track and we get up out of here?
Man, it's your Mr. Go-To, aka the Black Howard Stern. I appreciate, man, and having the opportunity once again to be with the Hood Smokers Podcast family, interviewing Mr. Serv-On from No Limit. You know, it's iconic, man. We doing it again, man. What show is this, man? We at what?
215.
The Hood Smokers Podcast. The best podcast in the deep.
Hey, 215, man. Do the math on that, man. Do the math on that. That means that's 215 equal up to 8. So eight equals up to build and destroy. Right now, it's time for you to build and create and destroy all the bullshit. Get all the bullshit out the household and revamp and get everything right, man. Because Hood Smoke is about to be, here for a long time, man. This ain't no fly by night show. So build and destroy. That's the number 8. That's where we at right now. Yeah.
Right.
Because you know what it is.
In order to make this thing work again, you know, we got to get rid of all the rappers and all the DJs and then start all over again. Sorry.
And get ready for that Smokers top 50 Detroit. You know what I'm saying? That list.
Show that red, black, and green again, though, man. Like
red, black, and green. There's so much more to red, black, and green. That's what I mean. The way y'all
get out this bitch. This dice track. Shout out to Homie Dice, official Hood Smoker.
Yeah.
I had to make a new necklace because my puppy chewed up my other one.
Oh no,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that
Oh,
was
you
different.
you make those on him?
Man, look at him.
He all guilty.
Look at him, man. He just doing what he want to do around here, boy.
Oh, you make those on those fake numbers?
Hey,
Huh?
hey, but hey,
I was saying, you make them, Mr. Go-To?
Make what? The necklaces? Yeah.
How much you charge?
I just made this the
but,
other day. I don't be.
your dog chewed up the
I ain't
other
never
one.
did this as no business, but we talk. Sit me up.
Yeah, because I do.
But that dog
bro.
chewed up the other one.
I got you. I can put you. I can put you some flavor together.
All right.
All right, y'all.
The dog chewed up the other one. If the dog chewed it up, then like the tell a fifth quad lie in me tells
He
me.
only chewed like 1 or 2 beads. So when he chewed the 1 or 2 beads, I mean, I got in him about that, but it was time for me to reconstruct it, break the necklace down. It was time to build and destroy. So I broke that down and reconstructed it. That's where we at. Number 8. Once again, build and destroy.
So you're saying that this dog is a Nazi sympathizer, in other words. No, like that's Talib. Like Talib would say it that way. If like your dog is basically a Nazi sympathizer because he chewed it.
Right. Yeah, Charlie, shut the fuck up and get the fuck off.
Yeah.
Peckster, you little Peckster.
We gave Talib enough time.
Good. What happened?
Then tell
We
me
gave Talib enough time.
what time just to get by, just to get high. You grew up in the. You had to do nothing to get high.
Most of the time, I try to get high. Yeah, that's all it was. I just tried.
I'm on y'all boys, man.
Much love. Salute, y'all.
Much love, man. Salute to the whole squad.
We
I missed the hell out of you.
We out, y'all. Much love.